up with the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, we're here. We're
I'm
back.
so glad to see everybody.
We back.
Morning.
Hey, morning.
We all got our coffee. I got mine.
Yes, ma'am. Full cup.
Well, I'm the odd man in the bunch. I got my tea.
Hey, sweet tea's all
Hey.
right.
Mm.
Welcome in everybody. We have beekeepers from almost everywhere. So
From a
Not
few
everywhere. Not
places.
everywhere.
so I'm super excited. I know a lot of people want to know about beekeeping and how to start and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start with Son of One if he wants to talk about his channel or like what area you're in as far as beekeeping.
Some guys, I got a little issue going on.
Uh-oh.
The technical difficulty, Ed.
Well, let's go to Sarah then while he tries to work on that.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I
okay.
killed it.
I'm gonna sit back and listen.
Well, I started about studying about bees about two years before I actually started doing any beekeeping, which has been 3 seasons ago. So I've been looking at bees for 5 years, trying to figure out what bees were, what they were doing, how they did it. Um, uh, I guess in the beginning, my concept was I was going to catch the bees by taking them out of people's houses. I lost a lot. I watched a lot of Dirt Rooster videos and Mr. Ed videos, and they make that stuff look so simple. In the first
Yeah,
year,
they do.
Yeah, they do.
well, I had caught a hive with a swarm trap. That was what I call my May hive. I caught it in 21 and never bought a single bee. I caught my bees, and everything in my yard is from two different swarms I caught in the first season. I had to make those two go through the winter, which was a chore. I was scared to death I was going to lose them. Never did, which surprised me. And I thought I was on top of everything. Then the next season come along, uh, and then they started throwing me queen cells in the hive, and I was like, "Oh, what am I doing now?" And never ever hit this portion of knew about it, but never had hands on. So I'm struggling to keep ahead of them and get them split out, and then ended up losing a swarm. My May swarm, she swarmed off, but I had plenty. I had like 4 hives by that time, so I didn't really lose anything. I sent one swarm to the trees. So keeping up with them sometimes is you got to keep up for sure. You got to stay in it,
Sure.
stay on top of them. Especially during the winter, making sure you can't really go in all the time because the temperatures are too low, and you can damage whatever brood. Because in Alabama, where I'm at, and Tim himself, our hives will carry brood all the way through the winter because it's not always freezing cold, so they're able to brood up a little or carry some brood to keep the numbers up. Uh, but
There are so many
I've been
words you
doing it.
said. I have questions on.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pass it to Jags real quick, and then we're gonna go to Sarah and let them talk about this stuff.
Hello, everybody. I'm J3TS Farm. I'm just a lonely beekeeper in Georgia, and I started beekeeping. I think it was June or July of 2017, and it's been off and on. And then I started. No, let me stop. I was gardening first, but then I wanted to get bees for my garden, but I didn't realize whenever you get bees for your garden, they're not going to stay in your garden. They're going to come out and go away. You might have 10 or 12 bees in your garden, but the majority going to come up and go, and they'll come back. How you doing? The garden doing fine? Yeah, it's okay. So they come and go, doing their job, and I've been beekeeping ever since. It's been upside, downside. It's one person doing bees in the whole family, and It's hard.
I'm over here writing notes because I have so many questions already. But next we got Sarah's Happy Hives in Indiana, my neighbor. What's up, girl?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss T, Ed, Jags, Tim, Hannah. I'm so happy to see your faces.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
started, well, and I can't really remember where it started because I've always had a general knowledge about honeybees and honey. So it really started 2018. I started studying. I made the dandelion jelly that tasted like honey, and then I got a beehive for Christmas and a starter package, and I found my box. My first package of bees
Wow.
came in this, and there's the queen. I don't have the can anymore. There was a silver can of sugar syrup in the
What
hole
is this
there.
again?
There's a can to feed them while they're being shipped across to where, because my first package came from Georgia.
Okay.
You had some good bees.
Yes, they did until they got the mites. I mean, there were hundreds of thousands of mites on that first one. I
Oh,
cried, literally cried.
From Georgia? Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. And then, I mean, here I still am. And Grammy Lisa, she's working today. Tell her, have a good day. She
oh.
said she couldn't make it on.
Oh.
We'll do this again though, because there's so much to know and talk about. You can't cover it all in a half an hour, even 2 hours.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because once we get to start talking about it, time just kind of goes somewhere else, and we lose track, and all of a sudden it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow. Hey, hold up. And last but not least, we got the couple gun lines. If you want to let us know about your channel and everything about what you know about bees.
Well, good morning. We appreciate you having us on, Miss T.
We did.
Um,
Good morning.
well, I guess our first run in with wanting to keep honeybees, I'll try to make it short and sweet for the show, but there was a colony that was at our church house, and one of the deacons was telling us that there was some honeybees out there, and we ain't ever fooled with no honeybees before.
Not seriously.
And it drove on for a week or two, and talking to Hannah about it, I said, look, we got to figure out somehow to get them honeybees. Well,
And we became obsessed.
after that,
That was the end.
we ended up getting that little colony out of it, brought them on home. Then we had purchased our first nucleus of honeybees, and it was just like an addiction from there on out. We're going into our 5th season this year.
Awesome.
Yep. I was hesitant at first, but it's absolutely unbelievable the way you can just straight fall in love with beekeeping. It doesn't take long once you get into it.
Well, thank y'all.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank y'all again for coming up. I really appreciate y'all helping us newbies out, people who are possibly interested in beekeeping.
Look, Miss T, we were so excited. We watch your live. Like, we listen to it almost every morning while we're at work because it's just like a party every morning.
Oh, yeah.
We get us going.
Aw.
They tickle me to death, man. Some of the stuff they come up with.
Hey. Leave it to Miss T.
Wow.
I love it, though. I'm serious, Miss T. We look forward to your chats in the mornings.
You're making me blush.
Same.
It's too early
Same.
for all. We're not even 10 minutes in. We're not.
You got her blushing on there. Look at it.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We've been excited, though, for real.
Yes, ma'am.
we have a lot of people in here already. Huh?
We tried sharing it out. Hopefully, get a few more folks in here too.
Well, thank you again.
I'm actually streaming it on my channel right now too.
Me too.
Yeah, we have.
Everybody.
If I didn't say hi to everybody, I'm sorry. We're already at over 50 people. Again, not even 10 minutes.
Wow.
I know. Anybody has any type of questions about beekeeping, I know Don't Hurt the Harvest is also here in Indiana. I've had some of her honey as well.
Oh,
I have to go check out her channel.
There she is, right there.
We've had dental adventures the last couple days. It was my husband's birthday on the 12th, and he broke a tooth on his birthday. Just eating chicken salad sandwich. He thought it was a piece of celery. It was his tooth, so he had to go get a tooth pulled the next day, Valentine's Day, and then yesterday I had a tooth worked on, which I hope is going to solve a different problem. But that's been our few days.
oh.
Let me see. So we got our first possible tap in enjoying gardening. So yes. Wow. Okay, girl. Good morning, Miss T and panel. Thanks. I'm listening to the live, looking to get some bees this spring. So I heard a lot of y'all say, y'all, where am I from the South?
Come on now.
You got
You
it,
got
Miss
it.
Come on, we're from
You
there.
pick it up. I'm a Yankee, and I say y'all.
Are honeybees the only ones that produce honey?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
they are
I'm not going
unique.
to answer that.
They are unique.
Because like I thought all bees produce honey, Jake. I thought they all did.
Well, they
Wow,
all
Yeah.
produce
these are
some
special.
sort of food, but it's not honey.
Oh, okay. Let me see. DJ, Hickabilly,
No,
Cody.
if I answered it, would have went into left field. That's why I said I wasn't going to answer it.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Hello, Michael.
What, Jakes is behaving today?
So far, let the coffee sink in.
Yeah.
He's got to send that second cup down. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, you guys.
I know.
I want to say hi to Tracy and hang on,
Okay.
Tamika. My eyes are I got that dry eye. It's getting better, but it's still acting up. And I feel like there's sand or something in there, making it hard to see.
Oh,
Sorry, Sarah. I'm gonna try not to get too far behind these comments. I refuse. So I'm gonna let y'all talk while I try to keep up with the chat. So
Okay. So
Arian,
everybody know I said hi, but I'm going to say just focus on talking.
I'm going to say,
huh?
I'm going to say when I started out, these are some of the items I got that I was in the bed, beekeeper for dummies.
Okay.
And me and this used to be in the bed and in the doctor's office, and it's a book, Miss T. It's a book.
Okay.
And out of all this time, I got 3 books, but this one I used to stay in the. I also got the bee Bible sitting up here. That's too big to be playing.
That's a big book.
But
so Pescatarian in Georgia wants to know a rough estimate how much for initial investment of beekeeping, I guess.
Hold on to your britches.
It's different everywhere. I mean, but ballpark.
Getting started, probably.
I mean, you can also
about
you
$300
can
to
make it as
$500, right?
expensive as you want, depending on what equipment you buy. Like you can get, suits and boxes at more reasonable prices, but if you want to get into the Guardian bee apparel, you're going to spend a little bit more, kind of thing. So,
okay,
it's like anything else. The more quality of the equipment, the more you're going to spend. But there are, we'll say, cheaper routes to get into it. But like Ed was saying, just to start off, to get you a nuke and a bee suit to protect you fairly well
in a box. I mean, yeah, you're looking at a safe rough estimate would be $500 or so.
That's about
at least around here.
So make sure you want to do it before you.
Right.
Yeah, it's a really good idea to find a beekeeper and just set up a date and go hang out for a little while and get a little bit of experience and see if that's something you really want to do before you invest that kind of money in it.
It is an investment.
You can also I started out the cheap way. I got mine from Amazon, where I got 2 boxes, frames. I got everything I need, plus I got some of the equipment too. I got almost everything I need, and I spent a little like 300 something bucks. But this is also back then they wasn't trying to gouge everybody then. But
Seriously.
it was like 300 bucks. I got the basics. I got the frames. I got some of the tools and everything. And that was the beginning. But then when I went and got the bees, I think my bees were actually, when I first got bees, I think they were like 105 bucks, something like that. And that's how I began right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to y'all in advance. I'm about to start throwing out some questions because, yeah.
Throw out the questions.
So, where can I purchase a beginner bee box? Jake said Amazon. Anybody else? And hello to my cousin in real life, Elton.
Oh,
Hey, Elton.
Elton.
Miss T looking at Amazon right now. Say anybody wanting to start out into beekeeping, you could get a 10 frame deep box, as they call it. It's just a little bit bigger box. Pretty well all your supplies, a smoker, hive tools, a little brush for about $150. That's on the cheap end.
But that's not.
Frames. What are the frames? I'm sorry.
So, do you have a frame there?
Hang on.
Steve got one.
There we go.
I came prepared today.
He was.
Well,
I
and
didn't even think about it.
Interesting one.
Okay, and I'm gonna read this next one. What do you have to do first to buy? Do you buy the bees or the boxes first? Okay.
The boxes.
I'd buy the boxes first.
You buy the boxes first.
This is the frame that goes in the box.
Okay, and Gunline
this
said
is a medium. This would be a honey frame, but I didn't have a deep frame.
So they made it for you.
They fixed it for you, Sarah.
They sure did. I had to do well. It was that or leave it blank. So they built off this bottom here.
Okay.
But this is the frame that you use in a medium box, and the deep ones are about this size to the bottom.
I was gonna say, a deep frame is roughly from the top to the end of that comb down there.
A nucleus colony holds 5 of these.
Nucleus.
Yeah.
I see Bob and Lee and David.
Yeah, Bob said he had to work this morning too.
Yeah.
So you get the boxes first, and then
you want
to know also, do you order the bees online?
There are lots of places.
You find a local
can skin
beekeeper.
you can do what I call skin flinting, and set up a trap in the woods, bait it, and catch your own in the woods. It's not always 100%, but it can be successful.
But 9 times out of 10, if you're a beginner, just buy your bees.
Yeah,
and I think starting from a package of bees should everybody try it at least once, because it helped me learn a lot how they grow, because they don't just. It's not an instantaneous thing. It's not, they continue,
not overnight.
Right. They continue to do it in the box. And when you put them in there with the swarm or from the package, you have to leave them completely alone for a week. Put them in, close them up, walk away, leave them alone.
Right.
Okay.
So they adjust to their smells and their because they think they're in a tree. They don't care that they're in a box. But once they're in that box, it's up to us to make sure they stay healthy.
I just want to say I love y'all so much. The questions are I'm just going to keep throwing questions out while y'all. And what buy the apparel?
Who wants to do that one?
Say again?
Apparel.
I brought.
Apparel is the first thing I need to buy.
Hang on, because I made this. I bought a thrift store hat, right? A sun hat, and I put some tulle, just sewed it around the edge.
The gardeners know about that, yeah.
So I've got a makeshift. They can't sting my face.
And see, that's something like we started with, Sarah. We just bought the old fisherman's hat with a brim like that, and
That's
we
cool.
got a mosquito net. Actually, it's made for turkey hunting, but it worked perfectly for a veil, just like what you made, and it was a whole lot cheaper than ordering something.
Yeah.
So,
My granddaughter, she wears that and she says, "I've got a blue dress." I said, "Honey, it's a
oh,
hat." She's
Well,
3. She'll be 4 this year.
Miss T,
Mm.
you can go. We understand folks is on a budget, and we're absolutely part of that bunch as well. And like Sarah's talking about, you can either make your own veil to cover your face, but that's just simply going to protect your face to keep the bees from getting all on you and all that. And we just bought old fisherman caps, and like she said, the old mosquito net worked fine, keeping them off of us and our face. But you do have the potential of bare skin and getting stung. Now, if you're worried about getting stung or trying
don't
to
hurt
prevent
with the
that,
harvest said, I don't want to get stung at all. This is the way you need to go there.
yes, ma'am. Get some good quality
Yes.
beekeeping apparel here.
This one's just a jacket with the full veil. But I mean,
Right.
you can get the pants, or you can buy a full suit that it looks like an astronaut jumpsuit, to tell you the truth. But you won't get stung in something like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, son of one. You want to add on to before I keep going?
I
I
have,
think they covered most of the bases, but the apparel is what you really need to keep yourself from being stung as much as possible. I don't think I go a time in the bees I don't get at least one sting. They'll get you through your blue jeans.
Oh wow.
now,
Yeah.
They'll get you.
I can tell you about that. When I started the bee, I had over 50 stings on my legs
Ooh-wee.
because I just started the bees and I want to keep going into them constantly. And
Mhm.
I learned one thing is you don't wear all these different colognes and stuff in your attending bees. I learned
That's
from
right.
that mistake.
Okay.
And
You just go out there before you even jump in the shower, just like let me go out there and
You
no
want to
sting.
think neutral. No
Yeah.
smell, neutral. Like,
right.
try to get unscented shampoo. I baking soda. You can use like a baking soda rinse in the shower.
Mhm.
Now, see,
Um,
I never even went that far, kind of thing. Like, I mean, don't spray perfume or cologne and then walk out there, because they
right.
will be all over you. But
They got
I
to see
mean,
what it's.
To include using
like,
fabric softener on your clothes, that's another one too.
Okay.
Uh,
I
So
couldn't hear you, James.
Fabric softener. You know how
Yeah.
that smell.
Mhm.
Don't if you're tending the bees. Don't do anything that has a smell to it. Let
Mhm.
let the bees get to know you, your smell, and that's it.
okay.
Mhm.
Yes,
Pescatarian wants to know, should she start off with getting 2 boxes with the 10 sleeves, or what do you call them?
The frames.
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 Fine. Uh, just
Most
get
kits will
just get
come with two.
yeah, just get the one box, and you'll come with 2 or 3 boxes. You got the large, the medium, and the small boxes, and
Mhm.
that's enough right there, just beginning.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. We're really buzzing today with bee talk. Hey, RX. At times there are so many bees in my garden I can't go in. My question is, how do the bees stay in the I keep wanting to call them sleeves. How do you keep track without them flying away?
they gonna make home right there. Once
Mhm.
they accept that area as being home, like if you're doing, Sarah was talking about packages.
Mhm.
Packages is just like she got that box with bees in it,
Mhm.
and you just take and shake them out into your hive bodies, which Jay's talking about. That's it. That's a package there, and that
What's the
little
little
deal.
coin collector thing over there?
This is what the queen came in.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So this is basically a packaged up swarm.
Mhm.
So it would be like catching a swarm. You got the queen and a bunch of bees. They just add the sugar to it to keep them alive during shipping.
So you just
But
shake
yeah,
them bees.
you shake them into the box,
Yeah.
clunk, 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 and then you leave the box in front for a little bit, about 20 minutes, and then they'll all find their way to the queen.
Mhm.
And then a couple days to a week later, you can let the queen out.
So
Mhm.
another
So
silly question.
Or the
How-
candy, they'll chew through the candy end.
I have another question,
And
Sarah.
that's a whole other thing. Hang on, let me see out your
Where's
question.
everybody talking about the queen? Where is the king?
Right here.
Ah,
He's a man, Miss T.
Right
You don't
here.
need no man.
No,
ain't no king in the bee
she's
world.
running that house.
In the bee world, they disrespect the male bee because he's nothing but they abuse the male bee. They
Oh,
use the male bee only for one thing.
wow.
Mhm.
Don't
You
make
women probably gonna get on this and really say, I agree with this one, but the male bee, the drone, as they call it, there's only two. There's a few things in that colony he does.
He
When
eats honey.
he eats, then when it comes time to, I'll keep this rated G, procreate.
Thank you.
There's a they'll fly out and they'll mate with that queen, but once they mate with that queen, they die after that process, and he no longer comes back to the colony. Now, if you start dragging in later into a season to where there isn't any queens that need to be fertilized, eventually they will kick their butts out, and all the sisters, they have full control of the colony. So the males are booted, and the women get to stay and do their thing.
That's it.
All right. Hickabilly said, when I got my first bees, I built on an observation hive. It was so much fun watching them build and grow. What's an observation hive?
It's a hive like that, but it's made like out of plexiglass or something clear, so you can see
A window.
in the hive. Yeah, basically a window into the hive, so you can watch them building and comb and making honey and tending to nurse the little bees. And I cannot wait to get an observation hive.
You just watch them do their thing.
Yeah.
give me 1 minute. I'll go. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Got one. She got one. She got
She
observation.
probably does.
I like how Brian C. Hillco Bees. Hillco Bees has reasonably priced ventilated suits if you don't mind them being yellow.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's several good companies you can buy apparel from.
They're talking about a ventilated suit. One thing I want to tell you, being a new beekeeper, learn to wear a bandana, a switch,
Mhm.
put something on your head, because if you don't, you're gonna regret it.
Yes.
You sweat all in your eyes.
Black Tropical, he started bees, and I watched him. I said the best advice I can give him was put a sweatband on when you got all that stuff on, because of that sweat be tearing you up.
There's the show and tell this morning.
I
That's
know.
what I'm talking about.
Okay, this is now that I can hear you. This is the observation hive. You can see right here, they will build their comb in there. I'm in the process of cleaning it up. But this is a good example of a nucleus colony as well. This holds 5 frames on the bottom, 1 frame on the top.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
she got it together today.
Hey Jay, you was talking about sweating and getting so hot in them suits.
Right.
We had originally, whenever we first started, like we would go back to earlier, we started out cheap, what we could afford, and we bought a cheap suit off Amazon, and it protected us to a certain degree. You would get stung through it and all, but buddy, you talk about we're down here, we're in the Mobile area, just outside of Mobile, Alabama,
Mhm.
and
It is hot
it gets hot.
and
Yeah.
humid.
And we
It's
would
miserable.
burn up in those old cheap suits.
Hmm.
But
That's why it got to the point we just wore the hat and the mosquito net and just went out there in a t-shirt or whatever.
but without getting into a whole bunch right now, Hannah turned allergic.
Mhm.
We had to make some adjustments to get some good quality equipment
I couldn't
or
take any
apparel.
more stains.
And we were given 2 or 3 different choices of, go with this one and that one. And we went through and we talked with folks and we ended up settling with Guardian Bee apparel.
Mhm.
And Jay, bro, let me tell you what, man, you talk about something that breathes and it's cool.
Mhm.
It ain't nowhere near them old cheap suits that don't breathe.
I was worried because it's a triple layer suit, which I had to have something like that to ensure I didn't get stung again. And I'm not going to lie, I was nervous. I was like, am I going to pass out there because I won't be able to breathe? But they were 10 times cooler than the single layer cheap suits we bought.
Lord, yeah.
Like, I was shocked.
Another thing to that, as you say, going cheap, the best thing I could tell you, buy the jacket with the headpiece on it, but then put on 2 pairs of sweatpants.
Oh Lord.
That would listen.
Yeah.
Two pairs of sweatpants will stop the if they decide to sting you on your leg or whatever, it won't go through. I had to learn that.
Hustle wants to know: does anybody keep beekeep for tax exemptions?
No.
If you turn it into a business, and you have to, a lot of states you have to register your bees with the state, and then you can take and turn it into a business, if you will. Then yes, ma'am, you can create or you can have tax exemptions on your bees because they are considered a livestock.
Right.
And so any equipment you buy, any apparel you buy, if you lose bees through the season and you can document any gains and advantages toward that business, then absolutely, yes, you can claim it on your taxes.
Another good question here from Odom's Homestead. How do you know when to harvest the honey?
When you go in your bee box and you look at it and you see that white cap all over everything, best time to get it. Now, you have some that I done seen some people, they start harvesting honey, it's cap, but it's not that big white thick cover.
What is a cap?
They'll close the cells, like where on most times you can see the little holes in the comb where they build all the different cells. That's what they put the honey in, the nectar. Yeah, there you go, Sarah.
That's a cap.
That's
yeah,
cap.
when they close it off, like put a lid on it, basically.
Right.
I want to say
that's when
it's not David kind of cap, but this is a cap that the bees put on. It's a wax cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, O-Dog and everybody. Thank you, neighbor.
Well,
and another thing is don't rush. Stop. It's the same thing with gardening. When you start your garden, you want to rush your garden. Don't try to rush the bees because there's honey in there and you're ready to harvest honey, but there's nothing capped. And if you take and shake that frame and the honey will start oozing out, whatever, the honey is, but you have some beekeepers that want to hurry and get it because they see it.
Yeah. But you may have different, like for us way down here in the South, we could probably harvest honey on our normal good years, if you will. We could probably have 2, maybe 3 good harvests. That's from the beginning of spring until around mid-July. Now, in the northern part, Sara, folks up in the northern country, they may only be able to harvest honey one good time because of the way the season is just a little bit shorter versus what we have down here, like a subtropic climate.
Okay, gotcha.
Not at the end of the season, Sunshine. They put the men out whenever they ready.
That's it.
Hey, wellness. I refuse to get behind. I refuse. Let me see.
One good thing I should mention about the cost of equipment, and y'all know Lee likes to say buy once, cry once. Bob says it too over there with his beaconomics.
He drives me crazy with that beaconomics. Oh my gosh.
Bordeaux is saying she will mate with a few drones. So drones are the males. That's what they're called.
Drones are the males.
And I do know you're in here, Bob.
Now, see, when I started beekeeping, I want to do it so bad. I went and bought up a whole bunch of stuff. Do I make queen cells or not? Nope. But I got the little things for the bee to put the queens in. I bought up a whole bunch of stuff because I said I'm doing it. And I say about 1/3 of the stuff I bought, I never even used.
Oh wow.
Well, like Jay said, just keep it. If you're thinking about getting into it and you've never gotten into bees, just absolutely keep it simple as you can. Just get some boxes, get you a nuke or a package from a local beekeeper if you can, and build off of that, because it's not put some bees in a box and I'm going to get some honey. There's actually work involved in it.
There's a lot involved. But since Sarah brought up Lee, he does make a really good point, though, for beginners. You don't have to, but it would kind of help you out if you got 2 hives to start with, because you can you'll compare them. Because like Lee said, if you have one and you're brand new, you don't really know what to look for, kind of thing, and you can think, oh, they're rocking, they're doing awesome. But if you have another one that's actually doing good and how they're supposed to, then you have kind of a comparison to say, oh, maybe something is wrong in this colony. Maybe they're getting mites or they're getting beetles or whatever. So if you do only get one, then maybe at least try to reach out to another beekeeper in your area that can kind of help you spot the signs that things are not so well in the colony. So that can really be a good tool to kind of help you gain that experience and learning what to look for in them. Yeah. So I feel like Lee makes a really good point talking about that all the time.
You got to find out if you have a bee association in your area.
That's what I was going to say. Where do you find a beekeeper in your area? And then Don't Hurt the Harvest said the observation hive will be good for knowing when to get the royal jelly. I'm sorry, Jace, what were you saying?
Find out if you got a bee association in your area and join it.
Like in Indiana, we have the Beekeepers of Indiana, and there's a whole network of meetings throughout the state. So, in fact, I was just at my Brown County meeting, and I told all my beekeeping friends there, come see us on YouTube.
Hold on, let me read this real quick because I got a question already. Bordeaux says, here's a tip. It will take a drone about 15-20 days before he flies away from his hive. A virgin queen, a queen could be a virgin. Will fly out as virgin. Bees are so she don't mate with her brothers. Wow.
They fly well away from the colony when they go do their business. They do not go to the bathroom in the hive. There is no mating in the hive.
Hold on, bees pee?
Yeah,
they poop.
They have to go out
like it's normal.
If they do it in the hive,
I've never seen bee urine.
Miss T,
Yeah.
bees use the restroom too.
Okay.
Mhm.
But not
Okay.
inside the.
Sorry.
When they start doing it inside the colony, there's something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one good way to know when something's not right. If they, but yeah, they'll come out on sunny days, do their cleansing flights, go out, poop, come back in.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that. I want to see that.
That's
You
what Miss
want to
T.
see
Did you
BP, huh?
see? She is Sunshine's comment because she is so right. Some of those marks on your car is bee poop, not
Yes,
just
it is. Yes, it is.
pollen or something.
You,
But
When
you
I
you
get
let
ever,
little
the
spots
girls
all
out of
you
that
over.
ever,
observation hive,
yeah.
it's like confetti in the air, and I get it all over.
Wow.
It's like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
ugh,
Covered in poop.
Yeah, you get covered with it sometimes.
Wow.
just all part of the job.
DC
I
said,
think,
Mhm.
well, at least the bees aren't the size of cows.
Yes.
Yes.
when it's 115
Mhm.
outside, they are all hot. Okay. I can agree. I can imagine.
I
What's
think he's talking about them suits,
Oh,
Yeah.
but we're talking about being a breathable suit instead of being basically in a balloon in a sense in them cheaper suits to where you can't evaporate some of that sweat. These
Yeah.
guardians and ones like that,
See,
air will move.
I've got this as my
Nobody
original one,
knew these two.
and there's
No?
a lot of fabric on it where it can't breathe. This one gets hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think I might even just retire it because it got cut.
not retire it.
Spend more time repairing it. But here's an example of the bee poo.
Oh, can somebody please give She is Sunshine the names of the suits to look for? Okay.
Oh, I thought I put it in there, Miss T.
The one we've got is Guardian Bee Apparel.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
all
Starting
the breathable stuff.
There's another one, the Foxhound Bee Company too. You might
Yeah.
want to check.
Foxhound Bee Company.
Because when the air goes through that part, I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell a huge difference.
Yeah.
Even on those 115-degree days, you can tell a major difference.
DC said just put on the fat jeans.
Yeah, DC.
Guardian Bee. Thank you.
Jesus.
Yeah, I thought I put it in there.
The register bees. Sorry.
In some places you do.
How do you do that?
Usually your state will have a website. Like
Yeah,
we
that's what
went
we.
through the agricultural.
Yeah, the state of Alabama Agricultural Department,
Yeah.
and you have like on ours it's 1 through 9. It's about what is it, Ed?
I think it's
$5.
$5. Yeah, I think it's 10 for more up to 20. And all it is, you just registering the fact you have certain bees in case
Mhm.
they want to come out and inspect to see. They check for diseases and stuff, and
Mhm.
and so when they come out to inspect your hives and stuff, at least they know where to look and the locations of your hives,
Mhm.
so they can check for any kind of pathogens or diseases they could have.
Right.
Yeah. But like a cool thing about that, about registering them, is at least in Alabama, honeybees are on the protected species list. So
Yeah.
like they really try to keep up with them. But if something happens to your colonies, like if we get a hurricane, God forbid, come through and knock over a colony and kill our bees or something, the state will actually replace our colonies if they're registered with them and won't cost us anything for it. So there are some benefits to that. And like there's even a program through our state where they will come to your yard or your bee yard, wherever you keep them, and they'll kind of like go through what all kind of plant species and different trees and food sources you have, and they'll give you suggestions on things to plant, things to get rid of, things that'll help your bees. So I mean there's a whole lot on the education side as far as getting involved with your state programs like that?
We can get grants through the pollinators program through each county, which Mobile County will have a pollinator program every year. And like she's saying, they'll come out and do that, observe your land, but they're trying to push more of planting the native species versus invasive species of different types of plants, which produce wonderful honey crops, but they choke out our native species.
Okay. I got about 3 or 4 questions in a row. But first, Billy said, so I love y'all, but I'm gonna throw all these at you at once. Okay, my hive was in the living room, entrance to the outside. I woke up, bees buzzing around the house. Husband was freaking out, scooping bees, tossing out side in a t-shirt and underwear, no stings. Good for you. Said the cappings, what Sara showed us, they get darker as the bees run over it over time. Do you think it's worth the tax exemption when you can't lift the supers off anymore to do
that's when you go to Langstrom Hive, this long hive.
Long hive, yeah.
Because that's what I'm working on right now, because I'm tired of lifting boxes.
The horizontal, yeah. I'm excited. My husband's almost done with the one he built for me. Just got to paint it.
Yeah.
On the horizontal hive at the beginning, your first question, Miss T, the best advice we can give is make sure that puppy is sealed off good and sound so they can't get out. If there's any kind of little nook or cranny, they're going to find it and they will get out if there's any way they can squeeze through it. I mean, an opening of 3/8 of an inch, that little bee can come right on out.
So is this a true fact also? Oh no, that's not the one I was looking for. Oh, honey can be harvested before it's capped if it's a low enough moisture content.
That's what Jags was talking about earlier. If that cell's not capped, but if you turn that frame over and stuff is dripping out, it's not ready.
It's like wet.
Yeah,
well,
it's too wet.
There's a tool you can use too if you collect before that. It's called a refractometer.
Does anybody bring theirs? I think mine's in the other room.
Mine's in the other room.
Mine's in the other room too. A visual?
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, the refractometer tells you the moisture content.
Right.
It has to be a certain temperature or just moisture content.
Look, yeah, the moisture in it. Because the bees, like when they cap it or whatever, it's as dry as they need it to be and it's ready. But like Jags was saying, if it falls out of that frame when you tip it, it's way too wet. There's too much moisture in it, and it's not even honey yet.
It'll ferment on you.
Yeah, it'll ferment if it's too moist.
Okay. Also, keep those cappings after you cut it off. Melt the capping so you can use that wax to wax your new foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
Because wax and comb in the bee world is gold.
Appreciate you, Boo Bro.
All right, Sarah, I was reading the comments. Show that again, please.
This is a refractor.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on a second.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if I could show you how it works through the.
I don't think it'll go. I don't think we'll be able to see it that quick.
Well, you put the honey here.
Okay.
This is a screen. You want to cover the whole screen with your little sample of honey.
Okay.
And then you look through it at a bright light, and there's a little graph in there, and it'll measure the moisture content of the honey.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the visuals.
And what is it? I'm trying to think. 18% is if it's at 18, you're good to go. Even 19 sometimes.
So 18, 19 is where you want to be at?
But if it's higher,
I try to keep it 17.3.
That's even better.
Yeah. And so it's going to depend on your location.
It does.
Everything about beekeeping is regional and depends on your location.
Gunline, how are you this week? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Now
And
you
Miss T,
can, if
to
you don't
back
have
up to
one of those,
the,
go ahead, Ed.
we got to do it. All right. I just say to back up to the cappings comment that was made.
Mm-hmm.
This, oh, try to get it to come in.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
This is some wax from wax cappings.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Now, what do you do
Um,
with that?
Yeah, should
I'm,
I go in and get that big block I got?
what we do is melt that. You melt that down, and we could use it to recoat the foundations you buy them, and they're always covered with wax. That well.
Okay.
I got one too.
Sarah, I bet you. Oh, there's Sarah. Oh,
Hers
Jen.
is cleaner.
Yes. I seen somebody went black. There we go.
I ran this through an old nylon sock. I can't wear those socks anymore.
I bet you Jags went to go get his big block.
That's a pretty block of wax
It's
there,
it's a
Sarah.
so special product. I mean, it smells wonderful. And she is Sunshine said you can make skincare products with it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still trying to get my recipe right, but yeah, you can. It's good.
So
There's so much you can do.
So much.
Soul Sister's in New York, and she also has bees. She gave me some of her honey. I've been sampling a lot of honey.
Mm.
That's good. Good.
Quick question. I know you guys are in the South, but what would be a good suggestion over what? Okay, for overwintering in
Returning.
the colder climate. There we go. Sorry, Soul Sister.
Or for Sarah.
Hey, soil sister. Um, a lot of people they'll wrap their colonies with tar paper. I put
Mhm.
quilt boxes on mine. I had a mild enough winter. I didn't wrap anybody, but a lot of people they do the insulation, and it's just a personal preference, I guess.
Right.
Hmm.
But I do the quilt boxes to absorb moisture
Mhm.
because they create moisture in that colony when they're warming it up and it's cold outside. It's like being in a the windows fog up. It does that inside the colony to make sure the ventilation is good and they have something to absorb. And that sugar brick helps too.
Okay.
Um,
Jags, did you go get your wax? You want to do a
Oh,
little show and tell? I thought that's where you went. I thought.
yeah,
I
Oh, that's a block of wax.
Yeah, it's good. That man got a block.
and all this is ready for these new the new stuff I'm building.
Okay. Hey Mac, how you doing? DCBs, that's true. It does help.
Miss T, it's not so much the cold weather that kills the bees.
It's the
It's the moisture in the colony, like Sarah was saying. That heat and cold air, you're going to create condensation, and that condensation will build up in that colony. And if it begins to drip down on the bees as they're clustered up to keep warm, that's what gets them.
I'm
Because
gonna tell you.
bees,
Go ahead.
honeybees, they'll go into like a mini state of hibernation, if you will, whenever it gets that cold. Their bodies and all that is shut down. They'll huddle up with one another to keep warm, but it is the condensation that you want to try to keep out of your colonies.
Thank you. So
I'm gonna
Brian,
tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a little trick that I use.
okay.
I put condensation bags in the hive to control that moisture.
Okay. Is Brian saying that the queen only lives up to 5 years and only mates once? Is that what Brian is saying?
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
And I'm the main channel. I'm sorry, David Lewis family. I know it can be a little confusing. Miss T with the T right here. Hi.
Everybody shared the stream though.
yeah,
Yeah.
we all shared it out because we're so excited about being on Miss T with the T.
I know.
And then Hickabilly said, yes, everybody goes to the potty.
Everybody.
Everybody.
I'm still going to find a YouTube video about a bee pooping.
There are tons, actually.
Uh-huh. You can
You
find anything on
gonna
YouTube,
stay
Miss
stuck
T.
on that D.
Okay. OCD's over here like BP?
I know.
Well, actually, they don't pee; they just poo.
Okay. Huh.
From what I read, I may be wrong, but I read somewhere it's just poo. kind of like a lizard is just, well, never mind.
I know, right, pescatarian? I'm like,
And no idea bees poop. Who
They
knew?
don't do it like we do. We're completely different. Humans and bees aren't the same. We just
Yeah.
like a lot of the same things.
I think a fourth of the audience who are not beekeepers already is like, what?
I don't know what these people are talking about.
Yeah.
Might as well be speaking in another language.
DC's got a point there.
Another thing about
being
bees
bold.
is don't get mixed up with bees and wasps.
Mm.
I was up by my house. There was a bunch of wasps, and I thought there were some bees because they looked like bees. The only problem was they were going into the ground, and that's when I realized they were not bees because they were going into the ground. And my neighbor, she jumped up. You got them bees, and you got them bees all up in my chimney over here. And I looked at. I said, "Those aren't bees. Those are wasps."
There is a difference.
Wasps
And
shoot on sight.
Do
All
you have an
bets are
example of
off.
that, Sarah? What's
What?
vented and ultra vented? Is that the suits?
The suits. Yeah.
Sunshine was telling me I'm behind, so I'm trying. How many channels is this live being ran on? The answer is
Hive right now. Everybody up here is running it.
oh,
Yeah.
look at Hicko Bill. Oh, for the suits. Okay. Bees will keep their hive around 95 degrees Fahrenheit to raise the brood. They will bring in water to cool down if needed.
And I do know drones do bring the queen water. That's another. I mean, drones aren't completely useless.
We're talking about bees and everything, but my heart is kind of saddened because I don't have any bees. My bees froze out.
Oh no!
No.
When we had the frost, it got so cold that my bees, they said bye bye. We don't like it no more. So
Oh,
there was
sorry, Dad.
there was a big ball and everything, and now roaches got my hives over.
Oh. Yeah, I can't stand
There's
roaches.
pine trees around here. So
Oh, you said roaches?
Yeah, roaches like the
big ones.
People's houses?
Look, them old big palmetto roaches.
No,
we call them palmetto roaches.
These are the small. I have the small ones because I got a bunch of pine trees. That's why I
the
cut all the
German
trees around my
cockroaches.
house, because if you got pine trees, you're gonna have roaches.
I mean, they ain't in there infesting the colony, nothing like that. They're just an opportunist. They're going to try to go in, get a free snack if they can get away from it.
Are empty though. They probably are trying to take over a free house there.
Oh yeah.
I might do a video. Depends on how bad I feel when I open it up again. But
well, look, Jay, on the bright side, it's almost spring, so you get a fresh start. Yes,
right.
They're refillable. I had to realize those boxes are refillable. It's not the end.
Oh, I know.
It's just the end for that day.
I'm building other boxes because I'm tired of lifting heavy boxes. That's why
I'm gonna do a colony with all mediums this year.
So Tampa.
I saw you talking about that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tampa, also in Indiana, said, "How would you go about getting bees if you want to start beekeeping?" Okay, she must have came later on. Can we do a recap of that?
Yeah.
In Indiana.
Yeah, she's here.
Go to Bastion. There's a place called Bastion's Bees in Knightstown, Indiana. That's a good place to start in Indiana.
Okay.
Tampa, hold off because I know you want to come down to Georgia. That's when you do. Hold off till you
here in Indiana.
But I do. I mean, I would get Georgia bees again because they were so. I mean, that first colony was awesome. But then again, every other colony after it has been awesome too. And the next one is even more awesome and so on and so forth. So it's a win-win-win in beekeeping. There is a lot of downsides to like the dying of the bees and the pests that can get in there. I haven't seen a mouse nest in mine yet, but I know it can happen. I'm not looking forward to it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up something since you're talking about that. There are losses in beekeeping, but there are also a new beekeeper needs to learn that or realize too that those bees do multiply. You will have to split them, and
Mm-hmm.
you will grow because that's the nature of what the bees doing. So there's not always the loss. There is a lot. The growth can get out of hand as well if
Right.
you're
Yes,
not
it
careful.
can.
That's why you need to have extra beehives so you can split and move.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find a new home.
That's where the money comes in. Making sure you have all the equipment ready to go.
And if you're handy with the woodworking, try making your own boxes. There are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of plans, and I know Ricky at Horizontal Hives, he likes to help beekeepers with those projects.
And he makes amazing hives too. He's very talented.
Brian,
There
Steve,
are, and that's I think,
And he will also deliver it to you depending on where you're at.
yep.
Mm-hmm. I've heard him talk several times about delivering them to people.
Right.
welcome in, Danny.
Somebody said that's it. No mice are rushing.
It's not what you're thinking with the critters. They
not
don't.
that
That's
bad.
what I'm thinking. Yeah. Can you get reimbursed for your hives, like Brian C was saying, and somebody else?
I believe that's if you got it registered and you're doing all that other stuff. Me,
Your tax work.
registered. And
Well, he was talking about like destroyed due to diseases or whatever.
Oh, I mean, there's so many. Without getting way down deep and confusing everybody on a lot of things, there's so many variables of what can happen in that colony between, I think it was Brian C. talking about ABF or EBF, American foul brood and European foul brood. Those are diseases that get in the colony and will cause complete colony collapse, the death of that colony quickly. Then you have your critters that are
The
just,
pests,
yes,
like the beetles, the mites, like small hive beetles.
wax moths. Those will get in and slowly cause a colony to die versus, the foul broods, which will kill a colony fairly quickly.
Mm.
Then you may just have simply saying coming into spring like now is the most vital portion for a lot of us beekeepers because we have to worry about our bees starving to death until
Everything starts blooming.
right.
And that's another big investment is feeding. Like, but if you do sugar water or the pollen patties or whatever, you're gonna drop a good little chunk through the winter if your bees don't have enough stores to make it on their own, and you have to feed.
Okay. Tampa, I'm gonna here. If you can take a screenshot, that's everybody up here. She wants to know. Try to catch everybody's channel. Yeah, because it's being ran on multiple streams, and some people are like, "Where do I go?"
I think Tim put ours in your chat, Miss T, where
Oh.
she could see.
I'm not sure who channel I was on one day this week or last week when they were talking about the bees and stuff. Now I got a block of salt that I will be setting out there next side the water fountain.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I put everybody's YouTube channel in the description of this. So if you want to go to that as well, Miss T with the T's channel, I have everybody's YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you, Miss T. I appreciate it.
thank you. Yes, ma'am.
We do appreciate it.
That's one of the things about beekeeping. You figure out a lot of things and you decide to do a lot of things. I think this will be better for the bees. Just a lot of the equipment that I have, I watch people and I go make my own instead of spending money to let me see, what is it? It's a tube that the bees were flying into, get the
Pollen sub.
the pollen sub. And
Mhm.
I think made my own, set it up out there so the bees come in, do all that. Now, that other place that sells all this stuff, theirs was like $100 something, and I made it and it was less than $20.
Yes.
Jay, we were thinking about doing, buying into getting a pollen feeder and all this good stuff. But I guess she's a big coffee drinker. I'm not.
Mhm.
But the plastic tubs your coffee comes in?
Like a Folgers can.
Yeah.
Right.
Just drill you a good, I drill a 2-inch hole
Mm-hmm.
in ours and leave the lid on it. And we throw that pollen sub inside that. And them bees be just as good out of that old coffee can
As they do a fancy feeder.
Sure will.
And all it
Yes.
cost him was keeping me sane with pots of coffee.
And that's what we call skinflint beekeeping.
RLM came in a little later. She wants to know, can you use that refractometer again? So how to use that?
Of course.
Okay.
What up, Big Rooster?
It's a refractometer,
Yes, ma'am.
and it has a little glass plate. You just put honey on it.
And it
Make
has
sure
to
it's
refill.
spread all over the glass, and then you push it down, spread any bubbles out, and then you look through. You probably can't see it because there's not light behind me, but there's a
scale
that you can see the measurement on, and you want to see between 17 and 18.
Between 17 and 18 is the...
That's the good number where you can safely put it in bottles.
Yes, Sunshine. Yes.
Hickabilly said use the wax to make goat milk lotion bars.
Look,
Oh, and you have to get the
lotion, soap, everything.
DC's Bees made a good point. Get the one for honey because there's one for like fructose and sucrose.
Mm-hmm.
You want the one for honey because honey is different.
Yeah, one reads the brick, which is the sugar level. I'd made that mistake. I ordered that and had to figure out through calculation what my moisture was. So finally, I broke down and bought the one, like you said, for honey. So that way, I get the brick, I get the different contents. There's 3 different readings in it. One of it's moisture.
Okay, let me...
content.
And that's where you have to have a brain for science.
DC is talking about the shake test.
We're trying to keep it simple.
Anybody do this? The shake test: hold the frame with open, uncapped honey face down. Shake it hard. If liquid doesn't fall out, it's generally dry enough.
Yeah, that's what Jags was talking about.
We'll do the shake test. You take that frame and you jar it real good. And if it comes out as if you was misting a water bottle, the best way to explain it.
Okay.
You don't want to fool with it.
Drops come out, it's not ready.
Put it back and
shake
leave it
it
alone.
Yeah.
That's it. Let them dry it out. Come back in a week or two. You can pull that frame again if they haven't quite, because sometimes they may not cap it all the way off, but that honey be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that shake test and you don't get but a drop or two out of all those thousands of cells that are on that one side, then
you're good.
You're good. Take it in there and
but
do
the
your
shake
harvest.
test is just like the slang name for what we were talking about earlier.
You know, the thing is too, I think the one thing the bees will teach you above anything else is patience, because you can't work them too fast. You can't push them to make stuff fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to manipulate them, but they're only going to do just what they want to do, regardless.
Yep.
Of
Now,
what
you
manipulation.
go in there
The bee in the garden are the same way. Both of them do the same thing. You can't rush them.
Mm-mm.
So David's mind blown with all the multiple channels. It's still like like Line's audience, all the audiences come together and meet and greet and that kind of thing. Yeah.
I think us and Sarah and Ed pretty well just have the same little community.
Let me see.
Well, I think I have a few others, not many, but
Actually, once I finish these hives and all that stuff, I believe I'm gonna start another channel, but it'll be a bee channel because
Oh.
I've been searching for people like me,
People like you.
and there's not many. There used to
Mm,
be a lot, but when I go to their channels and stuff, their videos are like 2, 3 years old and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's I can only speak of two actual people I know now that actually doing honey.
mhm.
That's
DC recommended also to shelter your hives from the worst of your elements. Lots of rain here, so build a roof over my bee benches. You guys have shelters?
Yeah, check out DC's.
Yeah,
He's
he's got
Maybe.
condos. He don't got shelters.
Yes, it's just brilliant.
He loves them bees, and I don't blame him.
hey.
But he is taking extra care, and he's done really good this year.
He has.
Uh,
He has come a long way.
I have no shelters. I just leave them at the edge of the tree line in my yard,
Right.
because it's not that bad around here usually. So
Mhm. That's what we just put metal over the top of ours, and we kind of shim the backs of them where they're tilted forward just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but just to let the rain shed. But we don't have near the rain and snow that DC deals with. We
Okay,
get a lot of rain down here, but
where's DC located?
in
Washington.
Washington State.
Washington State.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and does anybody have an insulated hive?
No.
No.
I'm in Georgia. We don't need that.
Oh, me.
No insulation here.
and Canadian hives do. Well, a lot of people in Canada put their colonies inside. They'll have a building or a barn or something.
Okay. Anybody
Yeah, he
sell?
wants to go
You,
ahead.
you guys
I
sell your
don't sell,
beeswax?
I don't sell beeswax. I use mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't have enough yet.
Well, I
Mhm.
may in the I just have to I've got to do my foundations first.
Yeah, that's the point right now.
Right. And I like my wax to be thick on my frames.
I found out I have to start doing that because I found a lot of wonkiness where they don't build it on right.
Soul Sister in New York says, thank you for the suggestions. Moisture is a major problem over there, over the winter here, and one of the main reasons we hives. And David found me on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is the place to be. I'm on StreamYard, but you can be on YouTube. That's fine.
Right.
Don't Hurt the Harvest in Indiana says she wrapped hers.
And I mean, I did mine in tar paper, but last year when I unwrapped them, I found some roaches crawl out.
You guys keep
Yeah.
saying roaches. I'm just like,
I am not trying to have roaches, but I mean, they find them anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the moth, where you'll
Yeah.
be looking and you look and you just, oh, that's the moth, and then the same.
And those moths are sneaky.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
And with the as soon as you open up your hive, if you got roaches, they're gonna go running, just like in an apartment building.
Yep.
And you see a roach, turn the light on, they go running. Same thing they're gonna do in the hive.
Jake, do you see Tampa's question?
No, what was your question? Please repeat.
Please. I'm sorry. It's like 60, 70 people. And we're trying.
The chat is
Going off like
flying.
popcorn.
I'm just kind of glancing down. It's going way too fast. I can't keep up with it.
Oh,
Well, and I'm
no.
trying to see if
It's a mix of pee and poop. Oh, thank you, David, because I will be Googling that on YouTube somewhere. I want to see this experience.
Yeah. They're kind of like chickens. They just expel everything in one way. And that's it.
like lizards and birds, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep it simple, so we're not gonna go there.
Yeah, there you go.
I do want to say, and I just noticed my note here. I was working out with Frugal Mama and Jay the Jordan. And Jay Jordan, he sang a really neat song for me the other day on his live.
Oh. That's nice.
Had me smiling and walking around on sunshine.
Walking on
No.
So I had to say something. I had to say thank you.
He's
Aw,
that kind of guy.
he's cool. Brian said you guys need to explain to Miss T how the drone has no dad, but only has a grandpa. How is that? Okay, since they came from an unfertilized egg. Please explain.
Who's the best one to explain it?
Not I.
when
You ain't
when
got no
that
daddy, but you
queen
got a grandpa.
when that queen bee, whenever she goes out and she's mated, all right, with those drones, when she's a well, let's back up a little bit. When she's a virgin queen, she is not fertilized. So meaning that she cannot lay any worker bees. All right, if she was to lay. Now, whenever she goes out for her mating flight, nature takes its course. She is fertilized to the point to where she can lay thousands and upon thousands of eggs in a 3 to 5 year period. All right. Them honeybees, they build their cells. There's some that's a little bit smaller, and there's some that's just a little bit bigger. Them smaller cells are going to carry your worker bees. Your little bit bigger cells are going to carry your drone bees, which are your boys. All right. When that queen is mated and she comes back and she starts filling out her colony, she can decide whether she wants to lay a fertilized egg or an unfertilized egg. That queen, she'll go up with her front feet and she'll touch that cell and measure it in a sense. And if she knows in her mind, okay, this is a small cell, I'm going to lay a worker bee, which is a fertilized egg. If she goes over a few more inches and she gets into a bigger cell, which is a drone cell, and the bees, they will build that by nature anyway during certain times of the year. Like coming into spring, they will build drone cells. Well, that queen, whenever she goes to that bigger one, she measures it and she knows, okay, this is a drone cell. So whenever I lay my egg in here, it's going to be an unfertilized egg, meaning it's going to be a drone bee or a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll cap all that in together. 20, what was it, 21 days for a worker bee?
20 something days.
And I forget what it is on drones. It's not about 18 or so days, I believe, on drones. But she knows the difference between those cells, whether to lay a girl, a worker, or a boy, a drone. And that comes into the part of mama went out and got mated with the one, so that's your granddaddy.
Oh.
So whenever you come back, you don't have a daddy.
Oh.
You just got mama in the hive, basically, to try and keep it, I guess, super simple on things.
Mommy,
but that queen, she can distinguish on whether she wants to lay girls in this one or boys in that one.
Right.
Okay, I have a better understanding now.
And when you look at it, the difference is female bee, they're smaller. When you look at the frame, you see bigger little caps on there. Those are males. But the regular size one, they'll be a female. Males.
Yeah, the drones will look like a bullet.
Right.
I'm learning so much. You just don't know. What is a bee's biggest predator?
Mites.
Down here, I would honestly say like dragonflies and hornets kind of thing.
Birds.
Yeah, there are little birds that sit in our trees and catch bees out of midair. What are they called?
Tanger.
Yeah, a tanger. Like it's the only I had never heard of it before until I saw those suckers killing my bees. I was like, no, we ain't having this.
Hey,
well, hello everyone.
Hey there, Maggot.
For some reason, my sound isn't working. Hold on.
Oh, we hear you loud
Yeah,
and
we can
clear.
hear
We
you.
hear you.
You're the loudest one on the block.
Shoot, you don't even need a
I
microphone
don't usually
to
do
be
this from my
heard.
phone.
A lot of folks hives this year, K3. We lost 2 hives this winter, says Soil System.
Oh,
Um,
I hate losing them.
But I mean, that's just the nature of beekeeping as well. You're gonna lose colonies
Mm-hmm.
just due through just winter
Mm-hmm.
without worrying about,
Can you hear me now?
other
Right.
ways.
We can
Oh,
hear
we've
you.
been hearing you, Bob.
That's why it's best to have more than one or two because
Yeah.
you can separate from another one.
Yeah.
Walker?
The biggest question about that, about losing the hives, though, too, did you learn something in that process
Yeah.
That
that
is.
you might do something different, or you did something wrong, or maybe you missed something. I mean, who knows? But you got to learn, look back at it, reflect, and don't beat yourself up.
And that colony it gives you a chance to really get up close and look at how they had things in there. If you see any signs of disease, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. I
Always.
made a habit of doing a mite wash on my dead ones, and my
Mm-hmm.
last count was 30 in the
Mm-hmm.
30 out of 300 30 mites out of 300 bees. It was too many, but I don't know how many were dead from the oxalic acid and how many were still alive on the bees when they died because they're all dead.
And so, I mean, like Tim was saying, we've even lost a couple colonies because all around us, like we're in the woods, but all around us is farmland, like big fields where they do, cotton or peanuts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the farmers, I mean, they have to, you can't fault them for it, but they will use pesticides on their crops. And our bees, we've actually lost 2 colonies to the bees getting in the poison in the pesticide and bring it back and it wipes them out.
Right.
So I mean there's so many variables with it.
Or it could be just people not knowing, and this is all too often nowadays, kill the weeds in the yard. And a lot of people don't realize a lot of those so-called weeds, those honeybees depend on that.
Yeah.
Like the little dandelions that pop up this time of the year. Well, folks, they'll shoot it with a little poison to kill that dandelion so they'll have that pretty lush green yard out there. Well, when that bee comes in contact, it may not kill them immediately.
And they're going to bring it back to the hive.
Look at all that honey. Anne-Marie wants to welcome back, Walker.
Thank you.
Her honey is roach free.
Yeah.
Is Max saying that he has 37 hives? And look at all that honey from Walker.
Yeah, this is my honey warming cabinet here. It's an old refrigerator.
Wow.
So I just have
Sell
a
your honey?
thermostat. Ma'am?
Do you sell your honey also?
I don't have it online. I had some on Etsy, but primarily I just have people that drive up to my house and pick it up.
Oh,
And then I've got my creamed honeys over here.
oh wow. How many refrigerators do you got now?
That's it. Just
Okay.
the two. One for cooling, one for warming.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to do this where I can look at it too, but that's some of my honey boxes in the building here.
Oh, okay.
And extra equipment and more boxes, extractor,
Oh, wow.
uncapper over there. So
We're trying to keep it simple, Bob. We're trying to keep it simple for folks.
I'm gonna have to be like Bob and get me a honey house.
y'all was doing show and tell. Actually, what this was a screened porch that I just enclosed, so it's still a work in progress. But y'all are talking about bees and everything, and it's a nice day out. We can look at some bees if y'all want to.
There we go. Thanks,
If
Bob.
Bob's looking to get stung, it's
That's
alive.
what you said.
Yeah.
Y'all
No one
better
here.
sit down.
I get stung every live.
Here.
Hickabilly, he's not cooling his honey. That's some cream honey that he has. That would be cool, but the regular honey is not cooled.
Now, a lot of folks keep their honeys in in a warmer to keep it from crystallizing.
Yes.
As long as it stays at that certain
This
temperature,
is good time to take that.
chill, it'll crystallize.
Right.
Bob,
Yeah.
everybody's saying it's sting time.
Hey, that's what we do. So I've already got a swarm trap up here. I call it an insurance colony in case one of my colonies decide to swarm. And there's bees going in and out of it right now, checking it out.
I'm sorry. My dad called. I'm here now.
That's my insurance hive right there. Just a swarm trap up in the tree in case one of my colonies decide they want to swarm. And
I'm going to use that idea.
And someone was asking about insulated hives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've got 2 of them. Well, actually, I've got more, but these this is a licensed hive that actually died out, and they're cleaning the honey out of it. And it's a 2-inch thick box, and it should not only help keep it warm in the summer, but keep the heat off of it. I'm sorry, keep it warm in the winter and keep the heat off of it in the summer. Make it easier for them to do. And last year was my first year using this type of colony, and they really did well in it. And that colony over there is doing real good.
I did have a question. So Max, I believe he's saying he got 37 hives. How many hives do you guys have here on the panel?
I have
We're
20.
2.
I have 4.
4. Oh wow, 37.
I have 10. Well, actually 12. I call it 10 right now because don't have queens returned in 2 boxes yet.
Mm.
Okay, Living Out Loud also has a comment. How do bees freeze to death in nature? Wouldn't they fly away to someplace warmer like a bird would?
No.
Okay. They're staying home.
No, they stay home and cluster in the box and eat their honey.
Max says, I can mentor anybody in the Southwest Ohio area.
Awesome, Tom.
Lady strawberries with Jake's honey. It was delicious.
Yeah, I saw the video. And
I'll be delivering nooks for a local Amish beekeeper. Sorry, geez, Louise.
Oh, that's cool, David.
Work for a beekeeper. He hates the Italians. They says too aggressive. Okay. Was intermediate.
We have mostly Italian, but ours are really sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
I get agitated from time to time, but they're pretty well behaved.
Jake, that looks familiar. Is that how you built yours?
He must be in a cold spot because the bee was mad. They're cold.
Where do you get the bees at again? In Georgia?
There's a lot of places in Georgia you can get bees.
The place that I got it from in Georgia was Mountain Sweet Honey.
I think Don't Hurt the Harvest is talking about Knightstown that you were talking about, Sarah.
That's Bastion Bee Farm.
Okay. Again, how many boxes should you start off with, guys?
I would say 2.
Yeah.
But if you really want to do well, get 3.
You won't regret it.
Let's start
the more the merrier.
When you're talking about the boxes, well, let me see if you see those boxes you got right there. Mm-hmm. Even though it's 2 or 3, that's considered one hive right there. So it's good to get 6 boxes?
6 boxes per hive colony.
Right. So
you want to have extra boxes because when that honey is heavy. So if you got all of your honey here, you take it out 1 frame at a time and put it in an extra box, and it won't be as big of a job.
Okay.
Yeah, the weight of honey is 11 pounds per gallon.
Wow.
One of those boxes can easily weigh 60 pounds, probably on up to 80 in some good areas.
Ours do.
And I'm not as young as I used to be.
Everybody jokes about getting a hive lifter. I gotta have blister. I can't do those heavy boxes. I'll tell him all the time, you need your man muscles for this because I
Hey,
ain't getting it.
that bee lifter right there didn't cost you at all, did it? Everybody
That's
go out
No.
spending
it.
all the bee lifters and hey,
I just gotta feed him
1,600
every
bucks.
night.
Sarah, did you show them your TARDIS hive?
Oh, that's on. I don't have a picture to bring up or anything, but it's on in my video collection on my little channel.
So
We
this
made
is a
a.
pretty heavy
Go
honey
ahead.
frame here.
Okay.
That's a perfect example of that capped
That's
capped
what I was about to
cells.
say, Sarah.
I see it very good now.
I'm gonna try to lean this down here, so we can get to some babies.
Lotus says, kudos to the bee community. I tip my hat to you all. A lot to keep us honey safe and fresh.
Oh.
So even though these bees are flying right now, they're not aggressive. They're just flying. There's a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a frame that I put in there yesterday. I did some manipulations on this colony, but I happen to know that right in the middle here, there should be a nice frame of brood.
Okay. Carol the Girl Miniature wants to know. So I raised butterflies and fed them fruit water and other things until I could release them. Is that the same kind of process for bees?
Not really.
Okay.
Butterflies are. Well, I mean, bees do kind of cocoon in their cells, but it's different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both insects, but butterflies and bees are just different.
right. I don't know nothing about no butterfly.
I know very little about the whole life cycle except for they go in cocoons, and then if you help them out of the cocoon, they'll never fly right. So leave them alone. Just let them come out of all on their own.
David Lewis, I put my pollen feeder out last week.
You know, I usually open feed because I end up seeing multitude of natural pollinators as well in my area. You know, like hummingbird moths. You know, you got your butterflies. You got all kinds of stuff going on, and that's why I like feeding them open like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
So how much does one of those tractometers cost again? And it said it took David 3 times to get the correct one.
I think it was about $30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't very
25, 30.
expensive.
it's not that expensive.
And you take care of it, it lasts a long time. And
Right.
you just have to keep I use olive oil to recalibrate it.
Okay.
And I mean, it's come in handy. It's helped with the honey harvest.
I use mine, but then a lot of times I don't use it for the simple reason I can look at my honey and okay, this looks all right, and I basically go by the capping of it.
Yeah, when I'm not sure, but
Right, that's when I
it's
use
gotta when it pours, there's a certain ribbon, and it as it's the right consistency, it looks a certain way. That's what
Yeah,
Jen
it lays down a certain ribbon. Yeah.
The new baby bee hatching out right there.
It's a young bee, Bob. They're not baby bees.
Yeah,
No, they're baby bees. They're baby bees.
I still call them baby bees.
If I can
We
find
had
it in the
somebody.
camera.
Okay, so that one right there in the middle is like those are like still wet, right? Am I looking at that right? No.
No, those in the middle, they're open.
Oh, they're
Mhm.
okay.
Those
Sorry.
are hatched. Yeah, that's right there is brood comb, where all the bees have been growing into adult bees. We call them baby bees because they just emerged, but they're adults.
And they're all fuzzy and cute.
But
They are.
I don't
It's
know
fun.
if you word.
With those girls, they have to clean their cell when they come out to make it ready for the next one.
That's the first thing they have to do. As soon as they come out, they turn around and clean their cell.
Well,
and
they're
get it
women. They're
ready for the
supposed to.
queen to come right back.
Wow. Who
You
said
Don't
heard
even
the
go
husband.
there,
It's
y'all.
like you
I'm
said, women's
joking,
supposed to
y'all.
keep
I'm
the house.
joking.
so?
They're supposed to keep the house clean.
Don't Hurt the Harvest in Indiana says, I've been saving my wax caps, but I haven't melted them down yet. So that's something I need to learn how to do. Sarah's not that far from you.
And I plan on checking out her channel. Don't Hurt the Harvest. I'm making a note right now.
Super, super simple. Melting down your wax cappings. Get you a cook pot of some sort, something that's good and deep.
Something that you are not planning on using in your kitchen ever again.
For
That's
anything
it.
else,
You won't get the wax out.
No, you will never get it all out.
But fill that thing up about halfway full of water. Put your cappings in. Don't run it over. And get that water to where it's a good simmer.
Max at 160 degrees will melt the wax.
Okay. I do have a question. So David Lewis is talking about sugar level, salt level, and water. I mean, moisture level. So the moisture needs to be between 17 and 19. What about the levels for the sugar and salt? And I'm sorry, Gunlines. You didn't finish your story. I'm sorry.
Got me.
It's
It's a
live.
super live stream.
Everyone.
she got you because you said something about us women.
That's it. Take the one
Hey, I heard all that
Hives.
drone conversation earlier. I'm just saying.
It is what it is.
Just left a comment.
David, are you just talking about feeding on the nutrition level?
Don't
Okay. Max says 160 degrees melts the wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you melt it, then what do? Do you have to put it in a special? Because y'all have bars. You have to put it in a
It's just whatever you
It'll
can
do-
pour it off in. It ain't got to be nothing special. Just something to.
Like, we'll just leave it in the pot. Like, we'll end up with a disc of it in the shape of whatever pot we melt it down. Because once you melt it down and strain it and scoop out all the garbage and stuff, then you can just turn the heat off and that wax will separate and it'll harden on top of the water.
Oh.
And once it's done, you can just literally pick up your disc of wax out of the water and you're ready.
Or
And then
Scrape a little bit of that dirty stuff off the bottom and keep going.
Yeah.
you can build you one of these right here, or buy one if you choose to. It's a solar wax melter. You just throw your dirty wax in there. I just put paper towels in front of the screen, and when the sun heats up in the summertime, the wax runs down and drips in the tray there, and it comes out pretty clean. Pretty clean. Sometimes I have to do it a couple times, but it works.
Bordeaux says when you're buying your honey in stores, make sure you read where it's from. There's a problem with fake honey overseas.
Yes.
Yes.
And as you heard me said many times, Miss T, it ain't real honey. For the simple reason it has
And
a
this
percentage.
is just a few of them.
It has a percentage of honey in it. But if you go to 4 different
Those
stores,
are the fake honeys.
you go to the 4 different stores and you buy the same kind of honey from 4 different stores and they taste exactly the same. It's not real honey.
Yeah, real honey will have different flavors from different areas.
Right.
Even in your same yard, you'll have different flavors.
Yeah.
Well, and some of it is heated so high that it tastes burned.
Right.
They'll heat it too much where it's that burnt taste is gross. Oh, this reminds me. This is a beetle trap.
Right.
They have propolized it shut.
Yes.
Yep.
That's why we quit using those. 'Cause there would be like 2 beetles in and the bees would have it completely closed up.
Is there a way to undo that?
No, I have to buy but these are like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Probably not even $1 a piece, but they do catch beetles. So I do use them, but the bees will propolize them shut.
They will.
Now, when you filter, you're talking about wax earlier and filtering it and everything. What's left over is commonly referred to as slum gum. There is a use for that afterwards as well. So you can still use that as like if you use swarm traps,
Mm-hmm.
it helps bait your swarm trap. It keeps the smell of a natural hive in the hive, in the hive box you're trying to catch bees in. So it's an attractant. Although Bob also has a swarm lure too, we use sometimes, but
Well, and you can
yeah,
put that slum gum in your garden too, just to mend your soil with it,
yep,
because
it's a fertilizer.
it'll fertilize and also attract more honeybees and pollinators.
Yes.
She is Sunshine said, if you live in a cold climate, could you put the hives in maybe a greenhouse to keep them from freezing?
A lot of them do.
Mhm.
In the colder climates. They have bee barns and everything.
We, on
You
our
can, you can
live
always,
chat, on our live chats on Sunday nights, we often read from the American Bee Journal, but we go back to the old timey days, pre 1900, and what the folks done back in the day. And I imagine for a lot of y'all folks in the northern part of the countries, you got a cellar, and they would often move their bees in the wintertime into their cellars and keep them in there until spring come around, or if you got a shed or something like that. But you need to keep it very, very dark to where there's no sunlight, because if you put them in a greenhouse or something and it goes to warming up in there, it's going to warm them bees up and they're going to want to fly.
Right.
Well, they don't have anywhere to go except for inside that greenhouse, and what you'll do is end up losing numbers on your bees. So wherever you try to store them, it needs to be like zero light coming in.
Don't Hurt the Harbor says she wraps hers in installation and duct tape, and wax is going for $10-15 a pound.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to double you want to double that wax price. Put a wick in it. Put a wick in it. You'll get double that price.
I'm not doing wicked nothing. All mine is going towards them bees.
Wonky comb not allowed.
That's a whole other live stream.
That is.
Yes. I'm always not. You always are knocking it down. That's why you always got a little bit of burr cone and stuff like that.
They build it where they want to build it, and you're not going to convince them otherwise.
Okay, let me see. Thank you, Tampa's Creek Homestead. Okay, we went from the 70s to the 60s now. It's 11:01. We keep going, or anybody need to leave? Or
We good as long as
I'm
y'all
here
are.
for the duration.
That's it. We're here to hang out, Miss T.
or usual, Jags in his 11 o'clock phone call. Let's see, wax mask. Let's see, what other questions?
You want to put a wick in it?
I will say something we haven't really gotten into yet, which is just a simple process. If you go to beekeeping and you run into this, but without going down a religious trail, if you will, but we very much believe in our Savior Christ and God creating everything. And we look at his creation, and one of the most common senses that you can get from beekeeping, and it may sound crazy, and a lot of people they look at it and see it as a terrifying event, but if you can ever get yourself in the middle of a swarm of bees, if they are
Oh, I
swarming,
love it.
Y'all, that is like
peaceful,
the most unbelievable experience.
Yes.
Like seriously,
Yeah,
I miss that so much. Just go sit down. Like I would go sit in the dirt in the middle of our yard, in the middle of a swarm of bees, because they're so gentle. They're not. I mean, they would get in my hair and wouldn't even get mad, kind of thing. Like it is the most peaceful, calming thing you will ever experience in your life.
Okay, so Mary says she's loving this bee talk. Kodiak says the queen is 16 days, worker is 21 days, and the drone is 24 days. Welcome back, Bob Walker.
And I was wondering what happened to Bob.
I dropped off of the phone and just came back to the office here.
Okay.
Woo.
I'm back.
Man,
He said it's a windshield.
I've enjoyed this chat this morning as well.
Good.
Well, DC there's about half of that because we headed out for work one morning and we got a couple miles down the road and Hannah looked on a windshield and I was running about 60 and there was one lonely little old honeybee and buddy, she was holding on for dear life.
Windshield wiper. I was like, no. We stopped and turned around and took her home.
Yeah. Turn around and take her back home.
Oh, all that for that bee. That is so awesome.
Now, see, before you keep bees, you're like, oh, a bee. But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
after you keep bees, you're like, oh, a bee. Do you need anything? Do you want to buy a car?
Well, little
That's it, Sarah. That is it.
Love that shit.
will the cicadas interfere with the bee production this year?
I don't know. I
Cicadas?
don't
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't believe the cicada is any kind of predator to my knowledge. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I don't think they're any kind of predatory.
They are like somebody I know, their dog ate some and was allergic. They're like shellfish. If you're allergic to raw shellfish, you're allergic to cicadas.
Well, if you put a bee in your mouth and eat it, I'm pretty sure you will break out too.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, I'm just saying. You said the dog ate the cicada and all that stuff.
Well,
Hey.
and another neighbor of mine, her dog found a bee on a flower and got stung in the mouth and then got diarrhea. Said, yeah, that's unfortunate. You gotta let them just do their thing. Leave them alone.
Bob, why are you cooling your honey?
Well, it's a cream. The cooled honey is a creamed honey, so that just helps get it to crystallize and congeal better, harden up, if you will. Because otherwise, I mean, this is a creamed honey that has not been refrigerated, and it will start. You see how it's starting to sag on the bottom,
Right.
So it just is easier to make it spreadable.
Okay.
And then I'll take it out before I sell it. Yeah, I got dead spots in my yard. More than just bee dead spots too.
I'm reminded of JP the Bee Man. It was his videos that I discovered first. Okay, and he gets a drone and he'll pop it in his mouth and say, "Oh, that's an Italian drone. It tastes like garlic bread."
Yeah.
And happy the bee man too about them.
Portro's Backyard Bees and Honey said, "You can eat a drone. They don't have a stinger, but I'm not going to try it." And that's what reminded me of JP doing that.
When you don't know anything about bees, and then you got somebody that knows about bees, they'll take bees and hold it, put it in their mouth, and do all these certain things. The only things you just don't know. Are you looking at? Oh, he got a bee. But if it's a drone bee, you could do all that stuff with it. And
so,
anybody make flavored honey?
Yeah, this one is strawberry.
Yeah. Oh, strawberry!
That looks delicious.
So, I've got strawberry.
I have a honey that's smoky sweet.
Smoky sweet.
Yeah. Wow. You can make a hot honey. Put pepper in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 hot honeys: strawberry honey, Snickers honey, Girl Scout Thin Mint honey.
What the what?
And cinnamon and plain. So I went in on the honeys.
I started to do the cream honey, but somebody else I know started doing cream honey. So I said I'll let them do it. So I just went ahead and stopped doing it.
Well, this goes back to I don't want to take this stream over, but this goes back to our Beeconomics talk that they were talking about earlier, that Ed was ragging about Beeconomics, right? Bee economics. So you can get here where I'm at $10 a pound for honey, regular honey. I get $10 a half pound for flavored honeys. So if you're a smaller beekeeper, you're only going to make a certain amount of honey. So if you want to make the most money you can on the least honey, then the way to do that is, flavored honeys, hot honeys, creamed honey. Some people do a garlic infused honey. It's just about maximizing what you're working with.
Okay. Mary says, question. My daughter is interested in beekeeping. She wants to start with flow hives. Any suggestions on that for a beginner?
Yep.
Isn't Fermana the guy to talk to about a flow hive?
Yeah, he doesn't come on too much anymore. Flow hives, I think if you're just going to get 1 or 2 hives, might be a good thing. But the problem is they're very expensive.
Yes.
And
how much?
Like $800, I think, last time I checked. But you don't have to buy the extractor and all that. So there is something to that, right? Mm-hmm. But it's I'll just, from my experience of talking to people that have flow hives, they might get 1 or 2 to start with, and then they end up with 30 hives. And it's not really economical for most people to buy that many flow hives to work with.
Okay. So Bordeaux says to start off with more hive boxes than what you need. Is that because y'all said they multiply and stuff earlier?
Yep.
Okay.
Honeybees breed quicker than bunny rabbits.
Yep. See, that's the buy once, cry once.
I'm not going to say it, but sometimes they put you in the mind of them over there. That thought. These are thoughts.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry if you other ones didn't get it, but Miss T, she caught on what I was saying.
I guess I didn't have enough coffee this morning.
I was in the chat. I didn't hear it.
Hive lifer?
Hive lifter.
Sorry. Okay.
Hive lifter.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Hannah has hers. All she got to do is give it 3 meals a day.
Hey, I give my hive lifter 3 meals a day too.
That's it.
But it back talks. I think that's the only thing.
It does back talk a lot.
I can't afford a lifter, so I have to do the work myself.
Me too.
According to
Hey, Miss T, I saw you had put a comment up there from somebody asking if there was any beekeepers in Maryland.
Oh yeah.
I tried to put it in the chat, but I don't know if they saw it. But Sawmill Charlie, he has a YouTube channel and he's in Maryland and he does a lot of like educational videos for beekeeping.
He also goes to meetings out there, right?
Yeah, he's in a big bee club. Mm-hmm. So that would be, if you're in Maryland, that would be a good person to start out with or reach out to.
There you go, David.
I'm sorry. I'm just
need a wooden spoon for my back talking about lifter.
Hannah, did you get your dishwasher? Says somebody.
Oh, we had to go there.
I was going to, but I left it alone. Oh.
Who said that? I don't even see it. Randy. Well, I'm working on a video. Okay, I've got me a prototype that we're gonna test out. So coming soon, y'all, because Charlie put out, he got his hive lifter and he put it on video. So here we go. It's coming soon. Y'all stay tuned.
Tampa, she's kind of further out, but she is in Indiana. She's about an hour away from me. I know you're on, I think you said you were on the east side of Indianapolis.
Yeah. I'm in Columbus.
Yeah, she's in Columbus. So.
I'm south of Indianapolis altogether.
Yeah, we're trying to get an Indiana meetup. So
and I'm like, I want to contribute something. I want to go. Well, and I at the Henry Breeding Farm in Edinburgh, Indiana, on Saturday, April 20th, will be the Fun on the Farm, and I will be there with my observation hive.
I've got one of those too in the honey house. I used it one time to go to some 4th graders. And then I put it back in the regular hive.
Well, it's good to move bees too because you can shut them up in there.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take them to another
no, there's a bunch of women in there. There ain't no shutting them up. We'll just go. We're going to continue with the theme. I just lost.
Good one, Bob. Good one. Good one.
Well, there goes half the viewers right there.
I know, right?
Actually, how long are you going to go, Miss T? Because I'll share this with my audience. We'll get another.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, if everybody's fine, we'll just keep going, I guess.
Let's ride it till the wheels fall off.
Ain't nobody
Anne-Marie,
gonna call me to work, so I'm good.
Anne-Marie, if you can screenshot that, Gunline said they were dropping theirs, and Sarah dropped hers, and everybody's sharing it out on theirs, so it could get a little confusing.
It's going to be
a little.
Yeah, if you want, because I shared it so that it would show up in my lives later when you're looking at my channel, because I want you to be able to see it later. But Miss T's is the place to be.
A quarter of us are
That's
here.
it.
Okay, Bob, you just came up.
Beekeepers are middle-aged men. What about Sarah?
Hey.
You don't have good filters between brain and mouth.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm trying to get my son.
Back. I'm still on the drone topic.
I'm trying to get my grandson follow my steps and do bees. I talked to him last night, told him how good it was. He said, Papa, I ain't getting stung. Okay.
Hey, if I just saw that bee venom comment, absolutely. If you make cosmetics, if you're one of the people in here that make cosmetics, bee venom in the cosmetics, that's kind of like a natural Botox for wrinkles, because it's like Botox. It irritates the skin, which makes it a little bit puffy. Take them little crow's feet out and stuff like that.
That's something we're looking into.
Well, people, I was talking to somebody in the chat, but a lot of people have no idea the amount of health benefits you can get from the venom. Like getting stung. That's one reason I miss it so bad since I turned so allergic to it. Because I have rheumatoid arthritis. And I got off of all the medications they had me on for arthritis just by taking bee stings 3 or 4 times a week. Like it's unbelievable what the venom can do for you.
Okay.
Do what, Bob?
I said I take them 3 or 4 times a day sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm happy if I just get stung once. Oh, perfect.
When my husband goes out there with me and he gets stung and I don't, I get jealous. That was my sting.
Yeah.
Seriously. So there's Riri in Maryland. Just put a wick on that wax and bam, you got yourself a candle.
This is the candle my daughter made, but this is a soy wax. She didn't add any beeswax in there, but it smells really nice. Like, to me, it smells like roses, kind of. There's a beeswax candle.
Beeswax is much more healthier for you as far as the burning of it. You don't have any of the irritants and things like that you would get from your common everyday candles you can buy.
Sorry, I'm looking at 2 different sides at once.
Well, Sarah's got a cute one.
I still got to get the bottom even, but Miss T has one like this.
Yes,
I'm getting the hang of it.
You are. Those are looking good, Sarah.
But I only have one mold, so I have to make them one at a time.
So Psalms 146 wants to know, can we stay on until African Dreaming comes on in 45 minutes? Is that okay with everybody? And we can pass the baton over to African Dreaming.
He's never seen my chat. I can talk.
Over here, we usually do an hour and a half.
We're going long today.
Not today.
Or anytime we can anytime we could blackmail Miss T to keep going.
Well, you got to look at Tim over there. He went 7 hours on a live. So
our very first live stream, we beat the record for the beekeepers.
That broke the habit though too, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I was like, no, that ain't for me. I didn't have enough coffee to go 7 hours.
Professor Taryn's back for a short period of time. Hopefully she's still here. Do you guys work outside the home? I'm wondering about the time it takes to be a beekeeper.
We absolutely work outside the home.
I have a full-time job myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, the main thing is the bees do most of the work. You just got to make sure they've got room to do the work.
Right.
And it takes what? I mean, typical inspection, you're in and out 15, 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Depends
You
on what
can
the
make it as long
depends
or
on
as
how
quick
hot
as
it
you
is
need.
outside.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Variables and such, you know, you could run into some mess and have to clean it up and be there an hour.
Yeah.
Tampa said the
So
process for whipped honey. I'm sorry. We got over 70 people. I'm trying.
You're doing good, Miss
doing
T.
great.
So there's really two different things. There's whipped honey, and then there's creamed honey. So whipped honey,
And then don't forget
Oh,
spun. There's
pause.
spun honey too.
Mm-hmm.
spun honey. So with whipped honey, you could basically do that in just a mixer, right? But you're whipping air into it, and it's more frothy. A creamed honey is more like I forgot, I got peanut butter honey, right? So that's another creamy honey. So it's more spreadable with a knife. You put it on toast or a bagel, or Ed's got one there.
Oh, sorry. Did I miss something? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry. My comments are on one side, and then everybody's on the. There we go.
That's creamed peanut butter honey.
Wow.
Excellent honey. If you like peanut butter.
Question real quick. Do you guys ever get tired of eating honey, like honey peanut butter, strawberry honey?
I don't eat that much.
I take mine straight from the bottle.
That's my favorite.
Wow. No. Pause. Okay.
He's got to have a brown bag when he goes out in town.
Hey, Miss T, I think I might end up losing my name to somebody else.
Okay. Good morning, Aunt.
No, the only time I take it straight from the bottle is when I use it in my garlic honey. That's the only time I take it straight. Other than that, I take it in my tea. And
Let me tell you. Go ahead,
have
Jay.
any cream, I'll put it in my coffee.
Yeah, I love it in coffee.
It's good on ice cream.
Honey goes with everything.
Hey, hot honey is awesome on chicken wings. Chicken wings and strips and fried chicken. You ever go to Popeyes? What do they give you? They give you a thing of honey and a thing of hot sauce.
But that's not honey.
No, they give you a thing of sugar.
They give you a pack of sugar and a pack of hot sauce.
Nicky Billy said, "Why would you want to put a bee in your mouth?"
Shock factor.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
It shakes at the beginners.
Yeah.
I do have a website. I just don't have honey on my website. And the main reason is because if you're buying $10, let's say a $10 bottle of honey, it's going to cost you $5 or more just to send it to you.
Right.
So now you're buying a $15 jar of honey when it's probably just as good to get it from the guy down the road. But I might add some of these. I've got so many creamed honeys, I might put those on there.
Okay.
But and new breaking news right here. Tim and Hannah know, but I might have my own line of bee suits coming up soon. So
all right.
Walker bee suits.
I've been they're they'll have my little cowboy bee on it. The
WBS.
So been working on it. So the guy's sending me the first samples to see if I like them or not. And then
what are you thinking your timeline is, Bob? Your sample's coming soon, right?
Well, I talked to the guy yesterday and negotiated pricing, and then he said your sample's ready to go out. I made some modifications because anybody that has seen me talk about the Guardian bee jacket, what's my biggest hang up?
Velcro.
Guess what? Guess what mine has on the pockets?
Velcro.
So it definitely will have Velcro on it. And
okay.
So it'll be a reasonably priced mesh bee suit, lightweight mesh bee suit. So.
The only thing I got to say, Bob, if somebody order a bee suit from you and they tell you that they're 6 feet, don't send them a bee suit for 6'6".
You got well, see, my problem is I'm 6'2" and I buy the size that supposedly fits me, but when you bend over, your whole plumber crack. Bees find that 3/8 gap.
I got a whole bee suit, and if I put it on, my leg is weight. You got to be at least 6'6", and it'll fit you good.
Yeah,
TT wants to know about purchasing a beekeeper package on Amazon. It comes with the suit and all the tools you need for beekeeping. Do you guys recommend Amazon?
Get after it.
That's how we started. Like that was our first set we bought was off of Amazon. And we still have those boxes. Like they held up fairly well as long as you treat them. Like either paint them or put a varnish or something on them. Like we use marine varnish because we don't like the paint and we like the raw wood look of the boxes. So as long as you take care of it, it'll last you.
yeah. That's I think if you're getting started and you don't know how serious you're going to be at it, probably
That's definitely the way to go.
be as thrifty because hey, just it's the reality of it. You're going to start. Your bees are probably going to die. I mean, you got a good chance of them, even if you've been a beekeeper for a while, right? So,
See that, Sarah?
Oh yeah, Greenwood. I've been talking about meeting Miss T in Greenwood
Yeah, that was our meetup spot.
because that's halfway for each of us. So
I'm
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Sam's is in Chicago. She wants us to go up to Gary. Or Hobart.
I don't know, but that's way up north up there, isn't it?
We got to find middle ground.
what I understand is if you go to Gary, you'll have to wear like bulletproof vests.
Yeah. So
Kevlar bee suits.
We got to make our bee suits bulletproof. What?
if we go to Gary.
Don't forget the pack.
Okay.
I got
Chop it up.
my SIG ammo.
Again, there's everybody's link. If somebody wants to screenshot it and try to find everybody's channels.
Somebody's been dropping a lot of the links in your chat, Miss T.
Yeah, that's Anne-Marie and OCD Chick, and I thank them very much.
Well, and
Yeah.
I'm in the StreamYard chat, so I'm trying to get
Yeah, our screens look a little different on this end.
comfortable.
Am I
with
freezing
it.
up on you, Miss T?
You're fine. You are fine.
I guess I am.
Hey, Valerie. And then Don't Hurt the Harvest is near Cumberland. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that up to Sarah to find the common ground.
Email me, guys, because I'm going to try to go find your pages and stuff, but I don't know what I'm going to be getting into this afternoon. I've got a lot because I've still got stuff to go through that I got to scrape off and get ready for the next ones. And there's a lot of work involved, so I'm going to have to do it.
Cancer sales. Okay.
But if you email me, I'll see it because it goes to my phone.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. We still got 70 plus people in here. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's gonna jump up. Is the so everybody was talking about bee suits earlier while I was driving, and yeah, they're hot. I mean, the biggest I can deal with the heat and sweat, but what Ed probably knows about this, and Ed knows about this. But with the glasses, when you lean down and you're looking at frames, the sweat drips off your forehead right inside of your glasses.
Trying to look through a waterfall.
Then it starts slipping down your nose, and I've had my glasses fall off inside my veil, and then I can't see anything. So
I put my one video that's entitled "The Struggle Is Real." That's what was happening that day. The sweat was dripping down my glasses and causing a glare off the camera, and that's ow.
But you'll be surprised if you get into beekeeping as far as like, selling your honey. Especially when you first start, it'll go like that. As soon as people know you've got it and you put a price on it, they're going to buy it. I mean,
that's why I'm sold out.
And don't compete with the grocery store. Don't be putting grocery store prices, them cheap prices on there. Don't do it.
Riri wants to know
$12 a pound. My creamed honey is $12 a pound.
So let them taste it too.
Yes.
When the bees sting you, are they showing you love?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Well, watch some of my videos. There's a lot of hate that goes on in my yard.
Yeah, it's not love.
It's love. My hands are stiffer and hurt in the winter when I'm not getting stung even a few days.
Yeah, for some reason, after I get that, everything limbers up and I can move better.
Apotherapy.
You know what happens to me when I get stung? My sinuses, like I have a
Open
bad
up.
sinus problem, they start opening up, right? Because
Yeah.
of that antihistamine.
It's like I keep expecting for my throat to close up after I get stung. No, it's like I can breathe.
It's called bee health.
I
Yeah,
know it.
exactly.
I want to try everybody's honey. Everybody send it to Anne Marie. Okay.
Oh, you gonna do me like that, Ann? You gonna do me like that?
Okay. Bordeaux said he has time today. I'm not doing 7 hours, so
Miss T said, "No, I got some things to do soon too."
No, if I do 7 hours, ain't no work gonna get done out there on that beehive.
Well, you know why we do all that time is because we're no life beekeepers.
Ain't got no friends to talk to, the bees and to YouTube. That's what we talk to.
I tell my bees everything.
And I thought it because I didn't have a real job.
Yeah.
Do you guys recommend putting a large hive on a super for honey flow season?
Do you recommend large?
I'm actually
talking about deep hive.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, all we run is deep boxes for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll let them go and they'll fill them puppies up just as quick as they'll fill a medium up.
Right.
Yeah, so I was using mediums and I'm getting away from that. So I'm going to all deep boxes, and it's more of a economics reason, right? A medium box costs the same as a deep box. You can use the deep box as a brood chamber. Some people use mediums, but most people don't. And the frames for mediums are a little bit more expensive. So it's a little
And
bit
if you
different.
put a
Or they do that.
medium in a deep box, you get this.
Or you
They
can
make
buy
their
them.
own.
You can order them from Sara. They're called convertible frames.
I
I've got
didn't
some of
have
those
a
too.
deep frame in my. I only had a medium frame to put in my deep box, and so they filled in the space.
Lord,
Well,
anybody eat more than 5 gallons of honey a year?
I don't think I eat that much.
I eat very little honey.
the thing about Sarah's frames is that you can actually make comb honey with hers.
Yeah.
You cut that off the bottom, and make comb honey.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea, Ed. Arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah, everybody wants that peanut butter honey now.
The peanut butter honey?
Yeah.
Yo, come on, show.
The most honey we usually eat is what Hannah typically cooks.
I know a little bit, Sarah.
Sarah, you and swallowing that honey, you are now the honey slinger.
Lord have mercy.
She's like, I go straight out the jar.
I do.
All right.
Is whipped honey a drone?
Pretty much.
Anne Marie, I'm gonna have to put you in the corner.
Hey, Miss Shirley. I like seeing Miss Shirley in the chat. Everybody.
And the misconception is that you need a lot of land to do bees too. You don't.
Okay, sunshine.
You can keep them on your roof.
Yep.
Right. The main thing though is if you are in a HOA of any sorts, you better rummage through that paperwork and make sure they don't have any fuss about having livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dot your I's, cross your T's.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna be able to say those bees are your children. That one ain't gonna work there.
No, they're not dependents.
And
I mean,
imagine
they are
that tax return.
but-
I got 1 million children in this colony.
10 colonies, 50,000 a colony. That's pretty good a number of children deductions.
Bob and Son of One. She needs to know y'all channels because she want that flavored honey.
Oh, Walker Bee Ranch is mine.
And that's Son of One Bees up there.
Yeah.
263.
Yeah, 263.
And
Don't
I've
forget
got
that. You can actually Google that, and I have my phone number on there and address.
Wow. a PO box or an address?
It's an actual address, street address.
You got a
Oh.
Guinness Book of World's Record winner right there. Beekeeping gardening.
Oh, really?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
He grows very large vegetables.
Oh.
Like I think that was a zucchini or a.
Now where? And I'm
Cucumber.
forgetting the area that he's in. I know it's across the pond.
Yeah, he's in the UK, but I'm not sure what town. Then.
Hickabilly said Gary stinks. It stinks.
Gary, Indiana.
Nobody wants to go there.
So maybe I need to put up the flavored honeys on my website.
Yeah.
Just know.
You should think about that, Bob. And they just got popular.
But shipping's by weight, right? So just know that the shipping's going to be crazy on it.
Well, and I think that when I shipped 1 pound, it was $8.
I shipped 10 pounds to Canada. A 10-pound box. It cost me $116.
Yeah. That's...
If you use a flat rate box, you get away with a whole lot.
We just talked about you earlier, Jay Jordan. You sang a song for Sara?
Yes, it was the other day. Yesterday or the other day.
Sara, you got Hanley's Homestead? Another Indiana resident?
I will check out that page too.
Good to see you, JP.
I was listening to y'all talk about not wearing perfumes and stuff out to the bee yard, and then Jeg saying he was the king, and in my mind, I just had Jegs walking out to his bee colony singing in his Barry White voice, "Let's get it on."
That's it.
How does he say? Oh, look at that.
Put a little bass in your voice, and that woman, she'll just melt in your hand.
So Hanley, me, myself, and Sara. Okay, pause, Jegs, always. Me and Sara are in Indiana. There's some other people in here in Indiana. We're gonna try to meet up sometime. This is my first time seeing you. I'm glad you're in Indiana as well. Whose channel is Hanley on?
He's got his own.
Got his own, yep.
Oh, okay.
There's on his if you want. I don't know. There's so many people shared the stream.
I know. I have to take my glasses off while in my veil.
If I did that, I wouldn't be able to see anything.
Oh.
Yep, looks like a bee.
Like I was showing you. These glasses right here, these are some of the best glasses to have when you're dealing with bees. It goes around your head, and
shout out to Jegs without the glasses. Hey.
These are the worst ones to have in the bees because when it's sunny out, they darken up, and the bees hate them. They hate them.
It makes you look like a bear.
Oh, she put your
honey on sunshine. Mm-hmm. Yes, try that creamed honey on sliced apples. You will not regret it. It's just so good.
I do have an apple in the fridge. Go to 8 frames, you'll get fatter combs and more honey per frame. Thank you, Larry.
Larry's got a bunch in Mississippi.
5 types of bees in our yard, along with 5 types of wasps. Will starting a hive be an issue for us? I'm being modest with the numbers as I am not sure how many species of each we have.
Well, there are so many different, and it depends on if they're native or invasive. And I had a chart with all the different, because there's bumblebees. I love seeing bumblebees because they like to pollinate tomatoes the best.
You know what? I think since I've been keeping bees here, I'm noticing more different types of species, right? The food chain has moved in. Mm-hmm. I see everything. I mean, dragonflies, lizards, toads, anything that can eat a bee will show up. But the bees luckily produce a lot, like Sara was saying. So I haven't had an issue with them here.
I've seen the praying mantis stalking out mine, and I have a video I have to still figure out how to knit together, but they stalk my beehives, the praying mantis.
Mm-hmm. Over 70. Do you guys like plastic frames or acorn frames?
Whichever's available in my.
I was going to say I haven't tried plastic ones yet, but
I love the plastic frames. Some people say their bees don't like them. That's horse hockey. They don't like them.
I think what it is, they don't put enough wax on it when they put it in.
Right.
So that's why the bee don't like it.
But with that being said, the fact that I like them, I'm still taking it. I'm taking them out of my apiary because my uncapper doesn't like it. So I'm going to the wood, back to the wood.
What about you?
I go with whatever's cheapest.
That's it.
Should I try to cut my thumb off trying to make my own frames?
They most definitely went up from when I first started. Man,
I used to buy 100 wooden frames for $89 for Man Lake, and now they're $174.
Yeah, I burned what 6 boxes of frames because the moth got in it and all that other stuff. I burned them instead of using my head. And after I burned it, I thought I had frames and everything in there. I had to go spend that money.
Oh no!
Spend that big money.
How often do you guys
just take the frames and repurpose it and put them in some hot water, clean them off?
Okay. Soul Sister in New York again. How often do you mite check and suggestions on how to treat mites in hives? Appreciate everyone's thoughts and suggestions.
That is a week-long conversation.
Oh,
That's a lot right there. That's a lot. Because depending how many beekeepers you have, you'll have twice as many answers.
And it's different in every area. Some areas aren't getting mites at all. I mean, I try to check in the spring. You got to find the queen when you do it, though.
I mean, with the mite checks, I've honestly, up until this last year, I've never mite checked. I just assumed they had them and treated. Some people will tell you they don't treat at all. Some people tell you they treat twice a year. Some people tell you they treat 4 or 5 times a year. Charlie, he uses 3 different treatments during the year, right? So it's just a big thing. But they are an issue.
And every journey is unique. My journey isn't your journey, isn't their journey. It's all unique and different, and we're not going to do things the same.
Yep.
I checked for mites. Okay. I checked for mites one time, and I didn't have that many mites in the alcohol solution. I said, I'm good. I stopped doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay. I lived in Indianapolis all my life. I've never heard of Bourbon, Indiana. Have you, Sarah?
I have. This is my first time here in Bourbon, Indiana.
So
maybe he's in Indiana drinking bourbon this morning.
Too many shares.
Oh, we've made malfunction.
Anyone going to HOA conference this?
Hi.
Homeowner Association? No.
Cream honey.
Creamy honey.
Yeah, that Snickers creamed honey was my #1 seller this year. But the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie one. It tastes all right to me because I like mint and I like chocolate, so it tasted fine to me. But some people just aren't mint people, so it kind of didn't do that much.
Hey, girl, Dad.
Cooking and deliciousness. All right.
Bees don't like plastic, so we trick with the wax. Trick them with the wax.
Put the wax on there.
The wax that they spray on from the factory, I've had it where I've put them right in the colony and they just no problem. And I've had them put it in there and it's not good. So this past year just started, that's it, rolling wax on it.
Wonkiness.
Wax.
I think the heavier it is, the more they like it.
Yeah.
I would get a salt gun for the praying mantis to really have fun.
I have thought about it.
Mantis is good for your garden.
Not worth the added danger of making your own frames.
Yeah, I took a big chunk out my thumb with a table saw.
Ooh,
I didn't lose it.
Well, see,
I didn't lose it.
Those are the reasons I'm reluctant to do, because my husband does the woodworking stuff. That's his area, right?
Mhm.
If I say, honey, please make me, I need another box, he'll do that. And I'm trying to get comfortable with the equipment to use it, but I think no, because if I do, I'll just cut off the whole arm.
Wow.
No, Sarah, it's not that
Working,
bad. It's not as
moving
overwhelming.
around.
Tiny,
It's
Mm-mm.
not.
we all
It's
have
not like
creatures.
you think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cut you guys off. I'm just.
You good, Miss T?
We
I
all
still have the phone.
we have 80 people in here. Shout out to that.
Ooh,
Wow.
I know we all have creatures. You mentioned in our yard. I'm just afraid of the murder hornets coming in. Is this a concern for any of you? It's not stopping me from starting a hive.
no, because
Mm-mm.
those hornets can be dealt with. You can get glue
Yeah.
traps, and they have pheromones that'll work against them. I watch the Japanese beekeeping videos.
And bees are pretty smart. If you've ever watched a video where they'll let one come in the colony, and as soon as it attacks one, they just
Yep,
They will cook that thing alive.
and they will cook it.
Things can handle a hornet. But they're not like the hornets, at least here in our experience anyway, the hornets don't like invade the bees. Because like when we have open feeders, like sugar water out, you'll see wasps, 2 or 3 different kinds of hornets, yellow jackets, bees, and everybody's in there together, and nobody's fighting or anything. Like I used to feed them out of my hand. I would literally just pour a bunch of honey in my bare hand and go sit out there, and they would all just be all over my hand, crawling all over each other, feeding together, and no problem.
Does she have bald-faced hornets in her hand, honeybees,
It,
all that?
it's not
They
like
got a video.
yeah, we do put
We
a
do
video.
got one. It's an older one, but yeah, her out there feeding them, and them hornets and bees, everybody congregated together.
Yeah, it's not like just ongoing warfare between hornets and bees kind
I
of
don't, I don't
thing.
deal with HOA.
Yeah, we all thought it was homeowners. You're talking about homesteaders of America. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought you were talking about like homes. Okay.
homeowner
yeah,
association.
homeowner. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Oh, the homesteaders of America. We thought you were talking about home association, homeowners.
homeowners association.
Glad we cleared that one up. Yeah,
Right.
homesteaders. I don't plan on going to any conference. Well, and there's one coming up close in Muncie. It's for the Indiana beekeepers. I can't go to that one right now. I had to give my money to the dentist.
Mm.
But we're getting it. It's good.
Mac does that too. Mac's apiary with the hot gun.
Right.
Need a video of that.
Yeah, it works when you're doing a few, but if you
Yeah,
got to do
Tom
a few
did a
hundred,
video
then it
on
may
how
not
he
be
did
as.
it. I still have to get one of those devices. I don't have a hot gun thing. I have a
I just
hair
have-
dryer, but it doesn't work really well.
I just use the crock pot.
Yeah.
Crock pot and a foam
Crock
roller.
pot, foam roller, yeah. That's what I use.
I've been using a
Quick.
paintbrush.
Only thing is, I end up painting my
What up,
counter with
Gui?
wax and my floor with wax and everything with wax.
I've got
Yeah,
little
that's why we have it set up to do it outside.
Yeah,
That
carport.
does not happen in my kitchen anymore.
well, and the wax, if it gets on the bottom of your shoe and then you track it, it will not come out of the carpet. Ask me how I know.
No, it won't.
Metropolis is worse.
Well,
Much worse.
I'm gonna tell you the reason I got my solar wax melter is because I was melting wax on the stove and I was pouring it into a 5-gallon bucket, and the bucket kind of tipped over. And
But
God,
it
be
does
serious.
leave it, because then when it solidifies, you can get it off better. But if you try to mop it up when it's wet, you're going to make a bigger mess.
I've got a wax dip floor right now. In one spot.
Did you just go ahead and get the bees and stop being scared? Just get it and enjoy it.
Well,
That's
try
it.
to
You're gonna
make a
get
friend
stung
with.
once or twice.
Go to a beekeeping meeting, go to a club meeting, make a friend with the beekeeper, ask if you can go to their apiary when they do their inspection, and then see if you like it from there. Because there
Yeah.
are a lot of excited beekeepers that would be happy to say, "Yeah, come on, I want to show you."
If you're in South Carolina, come on over.
See, Bob, he'll take you.
Riri said her bees dealt with a nosy possum and a big booty raccoon. All right. Shout out to the big booty raccoon. And what's wrong with I eat?
Bees can take care of themselves.
They do.
Just a little note for folks, especially getting into if you're wanting to keep bees and this is your very first run and you have never been stung by a honeybee. Honeybees have a different venom than wasps and hornets.
And honeybees don't hurt near as bad as a wasp or a hornet or even a yellow jacket. So y'all don't be afraid of getting stung.
But this is more of a safety net to potentially save your life if you've never been stung and you don't know how it's going to react. If you're looking into doing it, call your doctor, your local, whoever your regular doctor is. Tell them, say, hey, look, I'm looking into getting into beekeeping. I've never been stung, but can you write me a prescription for some EpiPens? That way, if you do have an allergic reaction,
you've got that there. But another little tip that I used to do before I turned so bad allergic, but I would swell and itch really, really bad wherever they stung me at. But taking Tums, I would take 2 extra strength Tums before I went to work in the bees. And that would help like keep down the skin reaction. I wouldn't swell or itch near as bad from taking those. And Benadryl will help too if you can take it.
You know who else is allergic to bees? If that's a beekeeper, Ricky Rourke, Horizontal Hives.
I didn't know Ricky was. I knew Miss Ruth was, but I didn't know Ricky was allergic too.
He came down one day and he's like, yeah, I brought my whole suit. I'm like, man, you're expecting something. He says, well, I'm allergic. So I'm like, go put your suit on.
I did not know he was allergic too.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Talking about you. We spoke into your existence.
That usually happens. We speak about somebody and then here they come.
So don't be talking bad about me because I'm coming.
But yeah, the pescatarian gardener. A honeybee sting is not as bad as a lot of people think it is. No. It's really, really not that painful.
It's intense for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then it starts to swell and then itch. But it's
well, I encourage y'all to come to my bee yard and feel what a real sting feels like.
That's why I wear the veil, because I've not been stung. I got been stung right here, but not in my face. I don't want to do that.
No, I don't.
I've been hitting the face. I've been hitting the face, eyelid.
The worst thing I've gotten is right on my nose. Right, like she curled up on the inside of my nose and got me right on the edge.
Oh,
my eyes started watering like someone hit me in my nose. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
You say, Bob.
Did I see Earl in there?
Yeah, there is Earl. Hey, Earl.
Hey, Earl. I haven't seen you in a minute.
I know. I didn't know Earl was in here.
I get it on the ear.
I want to put a caveat in there about people who new beekeepers. The hum and drone in a hive is so relaxing. You become very peaceful in that environment with hearing them hum in the hive, and you can tell when they're queenless because the hum will turn into a roar. So that's why I'm like Hive for Heroes. They use it for people with PTSD because of the calming effect the bees have on people.
So I just got word via text message that African Dreaming Psalms, if you're still here, they go on at 1:00, which is like 75 minutes from now. So we won't be doing that. We 2.5 hours in. We're gonna probably do like another 30 minutes.
Another 30.
Yeah,
you.
it's a good 3-hour
Thank
live.
you.
Oh, Miss T. Oh.
We're gonna have to run in about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we kind of put off work, so we
Uh-oh.
gotta go put in a whole day
Well, you
Just
guys,
5 more
this
minutes.
remodel.
Just 10 more minutes.
No, we'll go to 11, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, you
I'm
guys
not mad at you at
stay
all. 'Cause
safe out there when you do go.
yeah, I was supposed to be off here an hour ago. But
We're having fun, Misty.
Just in case we can't get this in, thank you everybody that's went and subbed. I went and looked at the numbers a second ago and seen they come up. I don't know, about 8 or 10 of you went and subbed, and
Yes.
thank y'all very, very much.
Arigato gozaimasu.
are you guys close to the 1K?
Oh, they're
Ma'am?
close to 800 or so, right?
We are
No,
almost at
we're
800.
900.
Okay, I thought you guys were in the 900. Okay, so you're 800. Okay.
I think I don't think we've made it
Since I
to
can't do my
800.
spill right now, Miss T.
Mm,
Since they're in the 800s, I can't do my spill.
sure, go ahead.
No, that's all right. They're in the 800s. I'll wait till I get in the 900s tonight.
Oh,
Where are we at?
We at
If
792.
anybody on here right now that's watching this, and this is your first time watching beekeepers and everything, I want you to subscribe to these channels because you will learn something. They will encourage you to be a beekeeper. Hey, go visit, check them out, sub, and learn something and teach something. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Jags.
Yes.
it sounds like 75 minutes. You can do it. You can no. I'm living off of one donut. Everybody eat breakfast. Anybody eat breakfast this morning? Just coffee?
I just had coffee.
Just coffee.
Oh, you guys are just fine with that. Just living off of coffee.
Well, my
I had to
stomach
ham-
is different after my gallbladder is out.
Oh.
It's weird. Later in the afternoon is when I can put food on it safely.
That's me. I do coffee till about 1 or 2, and then I can eat something.
I get my honey, I drink my coffee, and then I just kind
My
of
honey.
Oh,
Right out the jar.
why? Thank you, Walker.
You're welcome.
Bob Walker.
He
Every time I
is,
see-
he is really a good guy in spite of all of his.
I take a lot. I got broad shoulders. I can take a lot.
When I see Walker, I want to say Texas Ranger.
That's fine.
Lotus says she subscribes to everybody. So did Tampa.
Awesome, y'all.
Thank you guys.
We do appreciate it.
So I feel like I should stop complaining about not eating because you guys, live off of coffee.
Girl, I run on coffee.
Coffee and honey, yeah, mostly. Well, I try to do like toast or something, but I just wasn't. I guess I was just too excited to be here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And my coffee too.
I only had coffee too.
Now Sarah's got to do her own lives.
It's coming up March
I
9th.
can't wait.
March 9th is my big anniversary live stream. I'm going to try to go live from my channel before then to practice. So stay tuned.
Oh, we will. And Grammy Lisa said she had been talking to a couple people that she was going to start trying to do some more live streams.
Yes.
I was like, finally, some women are going to do live streams.
Because we can keep bees too.
Yes.
Sarah's Happy Hives is spelled without the H in the Sarah. So it's
Yeah, I'm a
S-A-
no H. My parents couldn't afford the H. I'm just SARA.
I'm gonna try to catch as many live streams as I can next week, but I'm gonna be on the road. So
Well, stay safe on the road, Bob. No live streaming and driving. That's dangerous.
He probably live streaming from Canada.
I'm gonna try. We'll see. They might boycott me at the border if I go live.
So David said this was a great live. We got about 20 minutes. Anybody want to add anything? Hey, Grandma Faye.
Hey, Faye.
No, see, Tim was over there talking a lot till I came in. This is exactly why I stay out of a lot of live streams.
I was suckering you in anyways earlier when I was talking about Beaconomics. I knew you'd follow up.
Yeah, that's my favorite
Thanks,
subject.
Pescatarian Gardener. Appreciate you. Yeah, and sub to
Um,
everybody else too, because they have great content as well.
Look, I tell y'all the God's honest truth. If you just want to see an absolute hilarious train wreck of what not to do, go check out our video.
Oh, wow.
Well, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to make
No.
mistakes. Just learn what you can and don't compare yourself to anybody or you'll compare yourself
Yeah.
right out of the room.
That's it.
Just
Beekeeping for
have fun.
dummies.
Yes, I have
That was,
one.
that was very helpful. Trying to
Mhm.
find out the bees and everything.
What about the bee
Beekeeping for
Bible?
dummies.
What about
Oh,
the
I
Yeah,
got that too.
Jake, was one person in the chat already said I went and ordered that Beekeeping for Dummies just now. They got it on the
Hey.
way.
Oh, there goes
I've
Sarah.
got that one as well. Beekeeper's
Yeah.
Bible.
That book is too thick to be holding up. I got it sitting right there.
Hey, I've got a question for the panel.
Okay.
There's a lot of good information.
If there was a brand new beekeeper, someone looking to get into beekeeping, and they've made the decision they're going to get bees, what would be the one thing that you would recommend them to do or not to do or whatever when they start?
Take your time and be patient.
Bees.
Yeah, be patient. Don't be scared. Because they can tell when you're scared. I promise. Or it seems like they can anyway. Just like you said, just take your time
Take your time and
learning.
learn everything you can about the Apis mellifera. What
Hmm
they like, what they don't like, because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things out there that some beekeepers tell you it's not true, like bananas. If you eat a banana before you go out in the hive, you're going to get stung. Somebody did you can eat a banana and won't get stung.
We've taken bananas down there and fed them and didn't have a problem.
See,
Yeah.
so
on
it's
that,
like,
you
well,
know.
but it does smell like their attack pheromone. If you start
A little
smelling
bit.
bananas, they're stinging.
I have a
Mhm.
question. So if you drop the box, they get mad.
Yes.
Oh, they get
Oh,
furious.
yeah.
I
Definitely
dropped a
don't drop.
frame one
Don't
time. I
drop
never
them.
dropped the whole box, but
Or just a
oh
frame.
my gosh.
Even if you just drop a frame in there, they come out
Mhm.
like little
Right.
starfighters, little TIE fighters.
Once you've been keeping
There's
bees for
Sarah's
a
geek.
while, you'll see stuff. You'll learn to do stuff that you see other beekeepers do, like wearing them big gloves and all that stuff. I don't do that anymore. I
Oh,
wear rubber gloves because I want to be able to hold what I have.
Mhm.
Them big gloves, they just get in the way.
Oh my
Yeah, I use,
word. I agree with
I
you,
use,
Jay.
I want to
I
do
use
it.
the 9 mil gloves.
Right.
Is too sticky. So I use those nitrile gloves.
I would probably say, and this is the thing, right? So you do all your studying, you're watching your videos, reading your books, you got your equipment, you've ordered your bees, and then you get them. And you're so excited about getting these bees because you've been waiting and getting your mind right on it and everything. And then you put them in the box. And the first thing you want to do is go out there and check them every day. What's my bees doing? Are they building comb? So my advice is fight that urge.
Don't.
Right.
Don't. Yeah, don't
Mhm.
go. There's
That's
nothing.
why you have to get more than one. And my goal was to have 7 so that I
That's
could
what
get
I was
in one
going to say.
every day.
That
Now
way
I've
you
got
can.
now I
Get your
can get
bee
in a
fix,
couple
right?
each day.
Okay.
But
Yes. I mean, that's the thing is when I started, that was me. I wanted to go out and check them every day, right, and see how they're doing. But really, I found out very quickly there's nothing that you can do when you first start but mess up, right?
Mhm.
You leave them there, they're going to do what they're supposed to do. But every time you go in there, you're disrupting what they're doing. So give them a couple weeks before you go in there and check them out.
definitely.
Right.
You let them do it.
Well, what I gotta say though is my name is Ed. I'm addicted to bees.
Oh, yeah.
hi, Ed. Kenneth said, "Don't get discouraged." And Soy Sister wants to know the link for David Lewis, please, if he could put.
Oh, he just typed it in, Miss
Oh,
T.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Miss T, I'm sorry, but we've got to jump off and go
That's,
to work and be adults for a little while.
I'm
Yeah,
so
you
That's
guys
right behind you.
that's all right. Miss T saying, I wish y'all hurry up and get up off here. Y'all taking too long.
I
But thank
told
you
him,
so much for inviting us on, Miss
Yes,
T. We
ma'am.
really had a good time with y'all.
see y'all
I
later.
enjoyed y'all.
You
Yeah,
too, Anna.
Y'all
y'all
take care.
care.
See ya.
Bye bye.
The people who did subscribe to Gun Lines, if you guys could please at least watch a video so it sticks.
yeah.
Sticks like honey.
Well, you go in, you watch the video, you leave a little comment like, "Hey, from Miss T's channel." Then you like it, then you subscribe. I think was it Old Fart Gaming taught us that.
Yeah,
And if you
they're on the road to 1K. So yeah.
and if you really like bee chats, they're basically a bee live bee chat every night of the week. You could probably find
Somebody somewhere is talking about bees.
usually I go myself usually Monday or Saturday, or sometimes Monday and Saturday.
Sometimes he goes every day.
And then Lee and I go on Tuesdays.
Mhm.
And then Stream Teams on Wednesdays. And then Ricky at Horizontal Hive is on Thursday. And Sawmill Charlie's on Friday. And then I
I'm on
usually, my
Saturday.
Saturday stream is usually later at night. And I think Ed's trying to start a Saturday stream.
Well, and I was
Yeah.
thinking about because my first official live stream is going to be on a Saturday, and I'm thinking maybe I might want to try Saturdays because Saturdays are good.
What I found is any day we go live, people watch it. I mean, it's amazing that I could go 9 o'clock in the morning or 1 in the morning, and
It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I found Bob. He was live streaming, and I was just still taking care of my dad, and he was napping, so I went on the YouTube looking, and I found his live chat.
and Gun Lines is on Sunday.
Gun Live on Sunday.
Sunday
Most
night.
of them are right around 8 o'clock usually. Most of the streams. I think Ed, yours starts a little bit earlier, doesn't it, on Saturday, or it has been?
Yeah, I've been trying to get it started around 5.
And we just like to talk beasts. So, Miss T, we'll close the club down if you let us.
I'll start when I do my new beehives, then I'll start my bee channel. So I'll have my regular garden channel and a bee channel.
Well, let me know. I'll come over and sub.
Everybody's saying this was a fabulous live. Everybody sub to everybody. Please make sure you watch the video or a video so it can stick. Okay, we're caught up with the live.
All right.
So thank you guys. This went absolutely well. Everybody enjoyed it.
Miss T, we want to thank you for having us all today.
Yes.
Not many
Yes,
people
ma'am.
want to pull us bee people up here together. So I just want to say thank you. And
you know what? I want to give a shout out to Jed.
We'll
This is one of the first
do it
times
again.
Nice. Towards the end. Usually like, stay on longer, Miss T.
Well, hey, it's after 12 o'clock, and I got some work to do out there on the carport. I gotta go out there and shave some wood and cut some more wood, and it's just gonna be a wood type day.
Well, you have a good day. My daughter's needing me, and yeah, I'll see you guys out here in these YouTube streets.
All right.
Yeah, have a
Everybody
good
have a
one.
great day.
Peace.
Thank you guys again.
Bye.
Bye.